What up? This is Rashid Davis, former Chicago Bear wide receiver. Yeah, that guy. And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but they don't know jack.
We back. Welcome back from last night. We had Kellen Davis on last night. That was a blast. But yeah, we back right now. And thanks, Rashid. Appreciate that. But we are the podcast where we don't know shit. We don't know shit. But we have a guest host tonight who does know shit. And we also have a special guest who definitely knows shit. And if you're not careful, he'll pick your ass off. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my all-star team. The super producer, Tanya.
What up?
What's up, Tanya? What's happening?
Bro?
How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm ready to get this on. Yes, let's get it.
It was cold as hell today, wasn't it?
It was a little nippy.
The weather tricked us because yesterday it was beautiful. And today it was just cold.
It's coming, isn't
Hey,
it?
whatever.
The showers bring May flowers or something like that, right?
Whatever.
May is what? It's Saturday? It's going to be bright and sunny.
Is it May 1st Saturday?
That's my prediction.
I don't know. That's your prediction, huh?
It's going to be sunny.
So you like the female Tom Skilling.
You know, as soon as I step outside.
Get your ass out of here.
I'm going to bring that sunshine when I step outside, so just go
Okay. I hear you. Let's bring in the other piece of the All-Star team, the man who knows every single stat from every single team since the 90s. JB.
You gotta give it to him.
What up?
Hey, JB, what's happening, bro?
Man, Tuesday. Welcome back, y'all.
Man,
I'm sorry, Wednesday.
Yeah, we're usually on Tuesday, so yeah, I can understand how
double header, double dip.
Yep. Hey, but look, we got a guest host tonight from NBC Under Center Podcast. NBC Sports, I'm sorry.
NBC
Under Center
Sports,
Podcast. Yeah. And yeah, he probably knows more shit than we do. But let's bring him in. Big Kenneth Davis.
All right.
No, I don't know shit.
Nah,
give me that.
You know shit, nah. You know shit. Come on, man. We don't know shit.
I know a little bit. But listen, it's definitely nice. It's nice to meet y'all, Tanya, JB, and Terrence, man. I've definitely checked you out over the last month, at least month and a half. Really enjoyed what I've seen with the show, man. You guys keep it up, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that coming from you, man. Appreciate it.
You guys keep it up. You get on to something. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So tonight's guest, man, I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion. Unfortunately,
I was about to say that too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was against the Bears, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. But he's the interception master, like a machine. He just has a nose for the ball. Man, let me bring him in here.
Without further ado,
Tim Jennings.
Woo!
Tim Jennings, baby.
All right, yes. Welcome.
What's up, Tim?
He repping the side.
Repping those Cubs.
Hey, I hope I don't hurt y'all feelings because I got these socks instead of a socks on, man. But you know.
That's
Yeah,
okay. I'll take it.
I would have preferred to see the socks. I'm a Southside dude, but
Nah. I enjoy the Cubs game a little bit more, man.
They get drunk as hell in Cubs games. They get
It's
drunk.
a good time, man. You know they're down in Atlanta right now playing them.
Yeah.
I went to the game
Well, fellas,
Tuesday night.
before y'all get into it, 'cause I know it's about to be a good one. I want to go and sip on me something and watch the show. Take me out. Nice to meet
Sip
you
on
guys,
you.
and I'll see y'all
You
later.
got a little Coca-Cola right there.
I got my drink. Yes, I do. Don't worry about my
You
drink.
ain't got no
What
drink. You got a
drinking on?
Coca-Cola.
What you drinking on?
Man, I got a little,
What do you got over there? A little Tito?
you know,
JB?
little something.
What?
I got a little of the devil in me. Please forgive me.
Oh,
Let us pray.
Oh,
Let
boy.
us pray.
Y'all
Big
be drinking?
kid.
I drank that Grand Marnier, so I'm a Hennessy Grand Marnier drinker, man.
My man.
Oh, you a bougie drinker.
I'm a little bougie. You can call me what you want.
Tasty.
Ain't no
Now you
more
like
E
that
and
brown
J.
liquor.
Ain't no more E and J for me, man.
Like
All
that
right,
good brown.
y'all take me out.
I
Enjoy.
gotta have it.
Good night.
All right.
All right, Tanya.
All right, see you then.
See you later. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Get off my stream. Okay. Tim.
What's good?
Man, it's good to have you on, bro. It's so good to have you on. It hurt me to mention that Super Bowl win against the Bears. It hurt me to say that, but I got to give you props. You know, that's what you do. You pick balls off, you win games. So kudos to you. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that Super Bowl no more.
Let me talk about that a little bit, man.
Go ahead. Say what you gotta say about it.
That wasn't my doing. I got drafted by them.
True.
I got drafted my rookie year. I came into that situation and y'all just happened to be in the way. Like that wasn't my doing, man. You know.
Yeah.
But because I didn't really play a whole lot my rookie year. But for y'all, when I came to Chicago, that's when I hit it. I took off. So
you did.
I appreciate Indy and the success that I had there, and winning the Super Bowl. But Chicago really hold a little deeper spot in me than Indy did, because that's when I defined myself and I took off with my career and whatnot. So if I had to choose, I'd ride with Chicago over Indy, but I needed Indy at that time. I needed to get out the way.
Right.
You don't go to the Super Bowl and have a chance to win them like that. So for me to walk into that situation, that was just all a blessing, bro. Tell you the truth.
So how was that as a rookie coming in? Was it more because you still learning how to play the big boy game? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So
Yeah.
was it overwhelming? Was you just like a kid in the candy store? Like, explain that a little bit.
Man, it was both, man. I'm glad you asked me that question, because it was kind of both for me, man. I was always a humble kid, but I had a little chip on my shoulder. But I felt like Indy, when I played there, because I played with, that offense, that high power offense, man. So I was overwhelmed going there and seeing a Marvin Harrison, a Reggie Wayne, a Dwight Freeney, and the Peyton Manning. So I'm like, well, man, this is crazy. And then I was still trying to find myself as a player, because I didn't know. I thought I was good enough, but practice against them every day, like, nah, bro, you ain't even scratched the surface yet. So I think with that opportunity for me to go against them every day for 4 years and seeing how things were run, it made me into a better player. So whenever my career continued to go, then I thought it was, let me take the best of these opportunities, man. But it was overwhelming because practice was hard. It would be the hardest practice I ever had to play in. And games were easy, to tell you the truth. Okay. And that's how I felt about that situation.
Look, I got to say something that's going to make the Chicago guys a little bit upset with me real quick.
I'll tell you.
I used to be a huge Peyton Manning fan, right? So I was kind of rooting for Peyton Manning to finally get that Super Bowl because there was a lot. I'm just being honest. And Rex Grossman was our quarterback. Rex was our quarterback. We knew he didn't deserve a Super Bowl. Let's just be honest.
No, man.
But listen. I'm from Chicago. All right, I'm from Chicago. No, listen. I'm a sports guy. I'm just kidding.
I got you.
I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. Peyton Manning, you got to think, for more than us at that time, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. And the thing was, Peyton couldn't get over the hump. So if you fussing with people in the streets about Peyton Manning, he needed a ring to legitimize himself. And actually, he didn't have a great Super Bowl in the first place. But this is the thing, too, because we used to always talk, me and my buddies, about Dwight Freeney. And our joke was he used to come spinning off the bus because of that spin move. He used to just paralyze. But like Dwight Freeney spinning off the bus, right? But with you, Tim, and you mentioned one going up against that offense. What were some of the things you picked off from Peyton Manning? Because I'm sure sitting there, he knows your habits. He knows what you're going to bite on, what you're not going to bite on. How did you start to mentally prepare for football when you stepped to that level? As you said, the practices were harder than the games.
Well, mentally prepared, I think it took me a while. It took me like year 3 or 4 because, practicing against them, you try to figure out, like, what is it? Like, how do they click so well to make everybody just look not as good, but when everybody is good. So Peyton is just that he kind of knew your tendencies, but he knew his guys better. Meaning that I trust my guy gonna be here. Like I know my guy gonna be here from like a Reggie Wayne because he's a little bit more stronger physical. I get to this spot. Marvin Harrison, he knew he had to wait on him a little bit because he's more creative. So I kind of picked up on that. Like if I could beat Reggie to the spot, I could make a play. But a quicker Marvin, you got to kind of react to how he does, and hopefully you just get there before the ball does. You know what I'm saying? So kind of put me in the mental, kind of helped me know that these guys are on a whole nother level. So now I got to elevate my game, which is watch more film, learn what a Reggie like to do, learn what he run well, learn what he don't run well, so I can eliminate that route. And with a Marvin, you just kind of have to mix it up a little bit. You can't touch him. Like he too quick, couldn't touch him.
Real quick, with Marvin, I got to ask you this, and don't go in depth with it because we not snitches. With Marvin, did you know Marvin wasn't supposed to be messed with? This is the question I want to ask you.
I didn't know that.
Okay. You don't have to go deeper. I just want to know that. All right.
I did not know that. Marvin really ain't do too much with everybody. Like Marvin was to himself, but he was a good dude. I didn't know he was that guy. You know?
Yeah, that guy. Don't play with Marvin Harrison. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, stories really never, fluctuated ever like that. But I just didn't know. And it is what it is.
Yeah, Marvin, listen, his pops was the man. For anybody don't know, don't fuck with Marvin Harrison. All right, just leave Marvin Harrison alone.
I was about to say, was he a made man or something? What?
Go check out, review Marvin Harrison's father and his brother. Marvin Harrison, man, the quiet assassin is.
All I know is that little incident that happened, I ain't heard of it ever again.
Good point.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey,
I remember that.
Wasn't no incident.
Nothing sexual, nothing like that. Just some man shit.
Oh no, we know, but we don't know.
I'm just saying he didn't know. I'm just saying he didn't know. My bad, JB.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, I know, but we don't know.
I don't know nothing about it.
All I know is it hit the fans.
Yeah,
we heard about it, and then he did.
Then we did, right? Then it was just over with.
And I saw him kill on Sundays. That's all we gonna say.
That's it.
That's all we need to say. That's all we need to say. Yeah. Look, what changed? All right, so you said it by year 4, it started to click in for you. So was that clicking in what changed when you got here to the Bears? Because I mean, listen, statistically, especially the run you had, you're one of the better cornerbacks that the Bears have had. You know what I'm saying? Like you're in there. You're in the annals. You know what I'm saying? It's Pro Bowler too. You know what I'm saying? What happened here? Because I'm sure all right, you got another guy on the other side of you. That definitely helps. But 9 1 year that you can say, okay, you may have lucked into a few of them. But then after that, and people are watching that 4. Because that next year, nobody's really trying to give you nothing that next year when it comes to like, I can get them. What clicked here and what changed when you got here? Was it just you and this team? Was it the Lovey? What changed when you got to Chicago?
That's a good question, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. My defensive back coach, John Hope. John Hope was the defensive back coach here. At Chicago when I got there. And Indy, I was still battling a little bit of injuries over there, trying to nurse this ankle or whatever. I had a pretty decent year 3, then year 4. I could see stuff was starting to change. So I really didn't know what was going to happen. So I fell into this situation with Coach Lovey, which ran the style of defense that I feel real good about. And I walked into a good situation to where, Zach Bowman was the guy at the time. And it was a little inconsistent, but I think with that defense that we had on defensive line, and then you had linebackers that just kind of gel well, it was like, bro, you really don't want to let these guys down, or you know what I'm saying? You don't want to. You got to do what you got to do because they're counting on you to be what you're supposed to be and make the play that you were supposed to make, which kind of, put a little bit of pressure on me, but still hey, feel free to have fun and whatever like that. And Coach John Hope, he taught me more how to be a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like watching more film, getting better, you know what I'm saying, at what the tendencies of offense like to do. So I kind of just fly it around, as long as you can run to the ball and you're around that ball and you can make a play here or two, you can fit in well with her. You can fit in well in that defense and, be successful. It's having fun. But what I needed to do was how can I start making plays? Because you can play solid, but if you ain't making those plays, then we'll find somebody else because this style of defense it does that. We can plug anybody in, just do your job. So now, I had to figure out how do I make plays. I mean, I came in, had a couple pass breakups, I had some drop interceptions, and then moving forward, Lovey challenged me like, well, it was some, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. So then I just had to, I got on those jug machines a lot because I'm like, all right, I feel good. Like I was hesitant a little bit. Like I knew the play was coming, but I was hesitant because I didn't want to get beat deep. So let me just make a tackle, you know what I'm saying? Let me get here, make a pass breakup. Now I got confidence, like I could do it. Like I believe in it. If not, I got guys that's going to rock with me. So let me go ahead and make this play. Let me believe in what I believe in. Let me trust my film study. Let me trust my technique. And now you just go ahead and just let it all hang out and play ball. And I think that's what I realized when I got to Chicago, that, okay, now I can play with these guys. I can make these plays. You know what I'm saying? But now how do you get that step quicker? And that's when I had to get in that film study so I could be confident into what I'm about to see. And if I'm confident in it, it ain't no thinking. Like I'm gonna just react. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna believe it. And that's what took off. And I just had a good. I hate to piggyback on it, but I had a good off season as well. As far as like going into camp, like I was just feeling good. So my confidence went up to a whole nother level. And I swear, man, Lance Briggs going into like we had 2-day practice and going to spring ball and whatever like that. Lance saw it, and Lance like, bro, like, well, you trying to have a Pro Bowl yet? I ain't think twice of it. I ain't think it was going to happen. I'm just trying to be here. And that following year, I go out there and get 9 picks. It was just crazy, bro, because I put so much work into that all season. So just to see it unfold the way it did, it's crazy.
So how confident were you with Chris Conti in major right back there? Not saying that they slouches or anything like that, but
man, but I mean, it's Chris Harris was there. Chris was my guy. Remember Chris Harris?
Chris Harris.
Chris was the the OG and Peanut was the OG. You know what I'm saying? Well, of course Peanut, but Chris Harris. I played with Danielle Manning. Major and Chris, they brought a little bit different dynamic. Chris, they being young guys, so they you could basically tell them like, hey, look, I need you here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's trust what we got to be. But if I see something, I need you here because it's about to go down. Like, either you going to make a play, I'm about to make this play. So believe that Chris Conti being the athlete that he was, Major Wright being the hitter that he is, oh, man, it was just fun, bro. Like, and then having Peanut in the prime, we really started to have fun and click as a unit for those couple years that we had there, bro.
Cool. So let's talk about that 9 picks again. That for our viewers that don't know, that record, you're second all time for Bears DBs with interceptions in the year. Mark Carrier is 1 with 10. You're 2 with 9. A lot of people that didn't know that, they need to know how much of a dog you were. But I like to throw around this word, right? We always hear about the shutdown corner. Yeah. I like to look at a player such as yourself. You were a complete corner because, man, you could tackle too.
Right.
You it wasn't too many times they was, high stepping up out your wrap up and stuff. So what do you see today? Because I see a lot of soft foot. I mean, I hate to say soft when I'm talking about football, but man, don't nobody want to hit no more. Everybody want the motions and animations after they make the play, and it's like, dude, you didn't do nothing.
I feel you. I mean, of course, you see how it is. I'm gonna be real, but you see how it is. The game is changing. It is what it is. It's not more of a physical style type of defense that we played when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to have a hard corner, and then you got to have, we had to have 2 physical corners out there because everything was dominant in our front from our 7 and our linebackers. So you had to be physical corners out there. and the style of defense we playing, but you ain't getting that no more. Now they want more man-to-man cover guys, make it into a passing lead, which is cool. But at the end of the day, you still need to be a dog out there. Like, you have to be a dog to where even if they catch it, I'm going to run through you. Like, I got to get this ball out. I got to separate you from this ball. It ain't really that many dogs out there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to be this finesse physical corner. It's cool. You should be there. Like, that's what's getting paid. Like, if you could shut something down, go get it. I mean, that brings a lot of value. But if you got that and you're a dog out there, I think it's very few of those. You know what I mean? And for me, if I was 6'1", if I was 5'11", 6'1", for me, I don't think it would have been a question. You know what I'm saying? Just because I could do what you want, if I can get up there and touch you, and I can be physical with you, you will have a long day. It's gonna be. If I was, say, I always tell Peanut, boy, if I had your height, boy, my athletic ability.
Right, because you can jump, man. I've seen a couple times you was
man.
You remember? And you ran like a 4.3, 4.37 or something like that, didn't you?
4.32. Yeah, I mean, that's what we got. You know what I mean? So let's get that right. But yeah.
Right. Oh, you was
get that right.
Yeah. So I always mess with Devin Hester about it. Like, Devin, you ran a 4.4 at the combine. Yeah, you tell me your hamstring. I ain't trying to hear all that. So Devin, you really don't want to see me on the speed, so I rock with him. But Devin a different type of fast, though. Yeah. But 40 yards, like, I killed that. I killed the vertical. I feel like my agility could have been a little better, but of course, I had my reasons with my ankle or whatnot. But it is what it is. But like I said, if I had those measurables, if I was like 5'11", at least 6 foot, I would have put about at least solid 12 or 13 on my career. But as being like a shutdown physical corner, man. But I think, like I say, man, everything happened for a reason. Because even if I was like 6'1", I probably, who would have said, oh, nah, coach, let me shut this side down. I just want to be this quote unquote shutdown corner. You know what I mean?
You only play left or only play right,
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, I mean, it was like that for a while, but when I got here, it's just like you kind of had to move around a little bit because Peanut was a more bigger guy, so wherever Megatron went, hey, I'm like, all right, cool, nigga. I'm about to eat there because whoever on this side, he done. Like, and I know they're gonna try to give me this work. You know what I mean? So bigger guys, hey Peanut, you got all that. Give me the smaller, quicker ones, and we can rock all day.
So it was kind of like a double-edged sword. They damned if they do that. They damned if they do that.
And that's what you remember. Murad Marinelli, he called Peanut the Genghis because I think he,
the club,
the club or whatever, the Genghis, and he called me the ball hawk. Like, I was the hawk. So it's whatever you want. Which fight you want to pick right here?
Red or green? Which pill you want? Pick one. Yep.
It was good, man.
Listen, you talked about, if you were 6'1", and one of the things that I want to know is who are the guys that either you took tidbits from or you pattern your game from coming up, but also who are some of the dogs in the NFL right now? You said it's a few dogs at corner. Who are those few dogs?
Well, let me go to the first question. I mean, Pat, in my game, to tell you the truth, everybody was a primetime guy. You know what I'm saying? I love Deion just so, what the excitement he brings to the game. So, of course, you watch that, you try to mimic that. But to be honest, for me, when I got older and started playing ball, who do I more look like? What did I look like? And I don't know if y'all remember this cat, but Rondé Barber.
Oh, hell yeah. Do we remember Rondé Barber?
Yeah. I mean, of course. But I mean, like, as far as his game, remember his game, like outside.
Receptions, sacks. Like, dude, Rondé, outside of, listen, this is why Charles Tillman probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Rondé Barber's act, to me, and you correct me because this is your career. I mean, this is your profession. Rondé Barber, to me, is the greatest cover 2 cornerback, and then Peanut is number 2. Like that's to me. And to me, if you in the top 3 or 4 of your era, you probably are a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? If you could, and we got to remember that era is cover 2. So we may not be able to say
Antoine Winfield at Minnesota.
Definitely. Look at his son now. Like, yeah, man. Like,
I get it.
yeah, man. Like that
So,
for when you say that, yeah, Rondé. Woo, Rondé. I love that when you
man,
put that Rondé on that.
I love to watch Rondé, man. Just the fact that he's always running the ball. Wasn't the fastest guy, but he was always running the ball. You know, he can go outside, he can go inside. He'll make a tackle when he need to because he played that nickel spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he always made a play, man. He always made a play. So Rondé was definitely one of those guys. It was a couple guys that went inside and outside, but now it's just like everybody is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, what made us different back then? Everybody's the same. So the guys that I like now that came up when I was watching, I mean, I'm a big Pat P fan because I think the consistency that he's done it's hard. It's hard. So I'm a Patrick Peterson. I like some of these young guys from the Verrett from out in San Fran. I forgot his name, but last name Verrett. You know, who?
How about Kyle Fuller?
I love Kyle.
You do.
I love Kyle, man. Honestly, when Kyle came to Chicago, I was like, this is he's good. He's gonna be good. Like, I like him a lot. Like, I like him, man. Everybody liked him. Like, Peanut loved him because Kyle came to work. Kyle was. Let's talk about Kyle for a little bit because that's my dog. Kyle was a rookie. Kyle was a rookie coming in, but Kyle was on year 6 already. If that makes sense.
He already had it.
He had it. He had it already. He come from a football background, which, yeah, I get it. But to see that Kyle ain't taught, Kyle came to work on time. Kyle did what he's supposed to do. Kyle leave. Kyle go home. Kyle watch a little film. Like, I like Kyle a lot, man. Like, Kyle is he already mentally got it. You know what I'm saying? For a guy like me, it took a little while. Like, it took a little while to figure out, like, nah, this still ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyle knew I was supposed to be here. I'm good. Like, so Kyle, I like Kyle a lot. And he a dog. Kyle is a dog. Like,
I hate to see him go, man. I really do.
Definitely, man.
I was like, when y'all did that, I'm like, man.
Don't put that on us. Not that one.
I get it, man. When you pay a guy a lot of money and the business coming to assets, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I get it. It is what it is. But Kyle a dog. Like, yeah, you as fans, if you really didn't, because I hear all the talk, yeah, Kyle is having this kind of year up and down. He's not working and us and that.
Last year was, in a way, his best year. I'm going to tell you why. The age that he is now, I've never seen an old DB try to separate a man from the ball like Kyle Fuller was trying to do last year. He was my favorite defender last year. He was trying to break that ball away. Dog, he was coming with downhill with thunder last year. It was remarkable how he balled out last year.
But a lot of people, a lot of fans, they don't see all that. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it. I get it. You want to see now why he catch it, why you let him do this and that. Yeah, but it's the tangibles that come with it. Like, look, I still got bad intentions that I'm trying to get this out. Right. And he made plays. He still made plays for y'all. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Key pass breakups on third down.
Yeah.
Lot of sure tackles. A lot of sure tackles on third down.
Yeah, like that's what I like. Yeah, exactly. And that's what those are the little things that Kyle was still he'll be, you know, not as, you know, perfect every time, but it was some like a lot of good plays and a lot of good positioning Kyle was in that I could see a lot of corners in this league that won't be in. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard it's a lot of intangibles that Kyle brings to the game of football and at the cornerback positions that I think separates from him from a lot of top 10 corners or top 5 corners in the league. I think Kyle definitely can be one of those top 5 guys. Because he a dog. So if you got a dog at corner, you already like one of my favorites, bro. Like you one of my favorites.
So there's a name you didn't mention yet, you know, with your size. How you feel about the Honey Badger? Even though he's not a corner, he's still a DB.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a football fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a player guy.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my team, right? My team has been since I was a kid was the Buccaneers, but we'll get into that. So I'm a players guy, and I like the Honey Badger a lot. It's just because, like I said, man, he's always running the ball. He plays 110 miles an hour every damn play. He's always running the football. You know what I'm saying? So Honey Badger is definitely one of my favorite DBs, man. I'm pretty sure if you throw out other names, I'm gonna agree with him. Like, because I like them a lot. I just think they're a lot of the same similar players. Like, a lot of these guys are like the same as far as what they do. It's just whether you make a play or not. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of, I'm gonna tell you right now. And if we're gonna get, I know y'all gonna hit this segment when we go in the draft, about the draft or whatever like that. But I'm a JC Horn type of guy. Like, this nigga.
I figured that.
He's a dog. Like, I even though I know him personally, JC has been a dog since I met him his sophomore year in high school. Like, he's always been that way. I'm gonna give you the backlash. We can still talk about it, but it's gonna be guys like that. So, Richard Sherman, I wasn't really a fan of his. You know what I'm saying? Like,
me neither.
You 6'3", you supposed to do what you do. You know what I mean? But
right.
You made plays because Richard was smart. Like, what separate Richard? He wasn't the best athlete, but the man was fucking smart.
Yeah.
Right.
So
smart.
Richard separate his game from everybody else in that aspect. So I like him, but he was okay to me. Pat P, for sure. I always talk about Pat P, but if you throw around other guys, who else?
Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey, I like him. You know, well, yeah, I definitely not. When Jalen came in, I ain't gonna lie. I thought Hargrave was gonna be the better corner.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie. I thought
Hargrave was gonna be the better corner. I was wrong. Ramsey is an animal. Ramsey is the dog. You know what I mean? And I think, well, he definitely get all the credit he deserves. But I like Ramsey a lot because that dog mentality. And I was wrong because I thought Hargrave was gonna be that guy. I was so disappointed.
I thought Denzel Ward was gonna be top notch too. I still think he has a chance to be.
I hope so. Now, he's a great athlete. Now, Denzel's a great athlete. I wouldn't put him in my top one, my shuffle right now, but he's a hell of an athlete. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. Like I say, man, all those guys you could throw, pretty much a bunch of them in that basket right now and pull one out. You got a solid guy. Yeah, you got a solid guy. You know what I mean? But it's a handful that's might be that top tier and going to be that top tier for a long time. And right now, like I say, for what Pat P has been doing consecutively for years, that's hard to do. Right. I just think that's just hard to do. And I think, he's definitely up there. Kyle, he's playing good football. And I think Kyle is still going to succeed. Kyle going to succeed over there under
he was Fangio.
Yeah.
He's right at home. Shoot.
Yeah, Fangio loved Kyle since day one. Like, I already know this is perfect for Kyle. Like, yeah, hey man, you got a chance to follow your dog, that's what you should do. I mean, Fangio gonna make sure that he gonna put you in position. He gonna put you in position. And that's what I thought when I moved with Tampa over there with Lovey, man. But
it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Hey, what do you think about Jalen Johnson moving into CB1?
Who that?
Jalen Johnson, a rookie. Well, you knew who that is.
Where you at? Like cornerback for y'all?
Yeah.
He's a second year guy now.
Yeah. What has he done? I don't know yet. Like, I'm that guy. Like, you got to show up. What number is he? Like 30?
33. He got peanut
Pippin number, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I seen him out there, but I haven't. Not yet. Like, don't ask me yet. Like, you got these.
That's real talk.
He got to play a little bit. I get it. He got to play a little bit first.
Exactly. So for me, when you brought me on here, that's why I was gonna tell you. Like, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like,
please do. Yes.
Because like you asked me about a lot of guys on there. I'm gonna tell you, I really don't know. If you don't show up, then I gotta when you show up a few times, then I'm gonna watch you more. I'm gonna try to see what you do and none of that. So it'll be interesting. So he's the CB1. Aren't y'all? Did y'all sign somebody else
from Detroit?
Jasmine Trufant.
Jasmine, yeah.
Oh,
He a little long in the tooth though.
He a little what?
He a little long in the tooth. He a little old.
Yeah, he is. So I guess So he's CB1, 33 CB1. I know y'all got the other kid from the Georgia Southern.
Bill
Southern.
Dorr. They got
Who?
Bill Dorr.
Bill Dorr.
Trey Robinson.
Screen? Did we keep Screen?
No,
he's gone.
No, he's
Good.
gone. They let him go. They let him go.
You said good. Yeah, I would say the same thing.
So what? Tell me about CB1. What is he? What is he? Second year? What school he went to?
Yeah,
Out of
second
Utah.
year. Played pretty good last year. You know, they was picking on him because they was kind of staying away from Kyle last year. See, that also goes to your point about people not knowing about Kyle Fuller. Jalen Johnson was getting a lot of work because of Kyle Fuller last year. Got burned, but forgot. Tim, he forgot quick. I mean, it wasn't one of those things like he was getting his ass handed to him. He was balling out, but as a rookie, when he got burned, he didn't let him keep his head down. But had a soldier injury in college and hurt his shoulder again. Seems to have a lot of potential. Physical, hungry. He's not a hoe. You know what I'm saying? He's not a hoe. I think when he has enough time, you'll like him. He seemed like he has some traits that you will like.
And I need that input. When you talk to me like that, now I can understand and watch this kid a little bit more because I seen flashes of him. But once again, like I'm watching, I'm watching Kyle and see exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it. And not really paying attention to 33, but the way you break it down to it, he has a lot of intangible. Like, yeah, you gonna get beat, but if you say, yeah, he came back.
Yeah, man, he remembered. He remembered, man. He was on. He was back on
backing down.
And surprisingly, he was in a lot of good positions for a rookie. He found himself in a lot of good positions. That's instinct. Like that's you can't teach that.
Yeah, so he got a lot of intangibles. Like, especially if you gonna see them boys over there like Green Bay, and that high power offense is like that. Like, you're gonna need a solid corner. Like, you're gonna need a solid corner because, and of course, with Green Bay, guys know Kyle Fuller and my man A-Rod, he know Kyle, so yeah, he ain't gonna mess with Kyle too much because he might get you.
He didn't got A-Rod a couple times.
he might gonna get you now. Relax, and you might want to work that other side, and so now you can see, that kid that you're talking about. So I'm gonna check him out, man. I'm gonna check him out a lot, being your second year, and you going into that situation. So I think the way y'all saying it, man, you might want to. He gonna develop.
He one of our bright spots.
I hope
he
develops.
Absolutely, he's one of our bright spots for sure.
Definitely. But I think, but for real, to be honest with you, you might, either Trufant is gonna be that mentor. I think that's why exactly still you want to bring Trufant in that situation because you still need a mentor and somebody to kind of teach this kid the ropes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's early.
Yeah, it's still early. It's a lot. It's a lot you can learn, my boy. Like, it's a lot. Ain't too many Kyle Fullers that come in here knowing what's going on and how to do it. But if you got a kid, even with Kyle, like Peanut still showed him the ropes. Like, hey man, start taking care of your body now. Like, real talk now.
Wait.
And I think what Kyle did, I love Kyle, man. That's why I'm gonna keep talking about it. That year he set out, man, with that knee injury that he had, and he really didn't play a lot. It's like maybe second or third year, and he just came back pretty solid, man. Like, a lot of cats would have kept playing on that knee and just making it worse. So Kyle did it right.
Vic challenged him.
Yeah,
when he did that, and it turned out. Listen, it was one of those mistakes with the Bears because that's how they ended up with that poison pill situation that they had to let them go this year because Green Bay and they signed them to that offer sheet because of that situation. But look, I want to focus a little bit on you real quick.
Yes, sir.
Because something you said, I don't think a lot of people caught on to. You said initially you didn't even believe you were here because I think a lot of us sometimes when you reach another level of something, like some people just got it in their mind, like I'm going, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not one of those people. All right.
Yeah.
So let me say that. So I have to like I have to like, damn, I'm here, and then have to rejigger myself to be like, all right, now you here, get back on your shit. You know what I'm saying? What for you? All right, because for a dude that said I couldn't believe I'm here to make it 10 years in the NFL. All right, that's crazy. This ain't the league for something like that. You know what I'm saying? So what changed in you? And then with you being someone that trains DBs, how do you try to instill that in them?
All right, so the first part of your question, man, is that what was it about?
As far as like for you being a cat that was like, man, you basically got there was like, I'm here. I can't even believe it. I'm here. Yeah.
So for me, man, think about it. So I'll give you a little background of me. I ain't played football my sophomore year in high school, like high school football. I thought I was too small. You know what I'm saying? I was fast, so I played basketball, ran track. But then, you know, the coaches kind of finally drugged me out there, got me off the basketball court and just focused on football. So I always knew that I could play on this level, but I wasn't the guy. I never was the guy. So I got to match the intensity. You know what I'm saying? Even in high school, like I got to always match the intensity with whether you call it little guy syndrome or whatever. I'm that guy. Like I've always been that guy because I never was the biggest. So, you know, I got the last scholarship offer from the University of Georgia. I don't think I know that or not. But UGA only opened up a scholarship. I committed to South Carolina State, MEAC, Black College. I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina. If I don't got no big time school, I might well stay here and just show out for the hometown. So I'll do that. But South Carolina State, University of Georgia, they came and got me. I took on a visit. Coach Rick was like, hey, look, we don't have any more scholarships, but if one open up, we'll give it to you. I'm like, hey, man, look, just to come to the school and see what all this is and what all it's about was amazing to me. I never think that I would play at the UGA, like on state. Like I was going to South Carolina State. Like I'm 5'8", 160. Like ain't no way. But if I go to school for free, that's good. I'm gonna take it.
Right.
So I did that, bro. Like I did that. Georgia opened up. I took that. Now when I went on UGA level, and I was being the last scholarship there, and I saw like your 5-star, 4-stars, your big time recruits. I was like, yo. They're not even that good. Like they just big, but they're not that good. So it's just always been the chip. Like, all right, well, here we go again. Like I got to do my thing. I got to work. I got to outwork you. You know what I'm saying? I got this chip, but it was just who I am. Like, man, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be the strongest motherfucker. Like, even though I'm little, I'm gonna be strong. Then when you see me on the field, I just got this energy that y'all ain't really got because my speed is stupid. So I realized that I could play with these guys. Went in there, ball out. If so, got drafted on the, in second round. Like, oh hell, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
Same mentality though. Like I ain't supposed to be here. Like, but you gave me this opportunity, so now I'm gonna kill it. Like I gotta at least now I gotta escalate to okay. Who are your guys and what are they doing to be in this great, superstar or good player that they are? Let me try to match that, like, because that's all I know anyway. Like I know how to fight. I know how to take advantage of opportunities that I have. Like it is what it is. That's just always been that guy. But I'm always like I've never been. I made it. You know what I'm saying? Because I never had it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't supposed to. I feel you. And I was a 2-star athlete, maybe one.
I feel you.
Coming out of high school, you know what I'm saying? So I've never been that guy to where, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. Nah, nigga, I'm not.
Really? So at no point in 2012 did you say, man, I'm supposed to be here.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I knew straight up, and I always told Coach, like I knew I was good. 2012 was it was unbelievable. I never would imagine that shit. Just be real with you. But I told Coach, my coach, Coach John Holt, with the one I was telling you about at Chicago, because I knew that things were, rising for me, right? But I told Coach Holt, I said, Coach Holt, don't ever stop pushing me. Don't ever start treating me different. If I fuck up, dig in my ass. If you see me bullshitting in practice, dig in my ass because that's what I'm used to. And don't change that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, coach, I'm getting a little older. Hey, coach, man, let's be easy on these reps. That's just being smart. But when the reps that I'm out there, because I know I'm gonna give you everything I got. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a chance to coach me up and be hard on me, do that. Lovey, push me a little bit. Like, hey, you in position, but you ain't gonna make these plays and Zach on your ass. Oh, nah, coach. You wrong. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So for me in 2012, honestly, bro, I tell coach, man, hey, look, you my guy, push me, could make sure that I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do because I don't want to get complacent.
Right.
Now I get older, now we got to be smart about, how we practice. I'm not about to, not be ready for Sunday. Just make sure I'm ready for Sunday. So the reps that I get, make sure I'm ready. So he played a big part in that, man. So yeah, that right there has always been instilled with me, man, and that's till this day to where me still being retired. Like I talk to my fiance all the time, like I'm just not doing this golf thing. I'm not really good, but I tell her like, but I'm gonna figure this thing out. I'm gonna figure it out. So, and what was the second part of that question, bro?
How do you now, as someone training young DBs, how do you try to instill that in them so they can be ahead of the game? Because you're looking, and this is the thing too. When you say that, because it's wild, you make it seem like you was like a 5th round pick. Like, man, I ain't believe all like a 2nd round pick's supposed to hit. All right, like you're supposed to, like if you suck at 2nd round picks, we're like, damn, this GM sucks. So how are you telling them? Because it's more props to you too. But how are you telling them? Listen, I'm gonna give you this game. What is the game you're giving them to say, I'm gonna put you ahead of the game right now so that when you get there, you don't have to worry about a situation like that?
And honestly, that's my approach on these kids, bro. I talk to them straight up. Like now I had to change my whole training, my whole training title that I had, man. I trained it to the cheat code. Like, bro, I got it, man.
Right.
Come on, I got you. But you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure that you willing to put this work in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like, okay, yeah, I got it, you know what I mean? I'm already good. I'm ready for the next level. Oh, well, you don't need me no more. You good. You got it. Give me them hard, like them grimy kids that ain't, you know what I'm saying, that just hungry for it and with a little bit of athletic ability. I want him. I want him. And I got kids. I got some dogs. Matter of fact, I got a kid that's, that I trained, and I trained him for since he was a freshman, sophomore in high school. He's going to Ohio State. Good kid, good athlete. I knew he was going to be special. But bro, you want to play as a true freshman, or you want to play as a junior? Because right now, you on the path of playing as a junior. Like, come on, man, let's keep going. Let's keep grinding. Like, I gotta give you everything that I got. So you ahead of the game. Like, right. You'll be ahead of the game. So that's the mentality really that I try to instill in these kids. But it's up to them to whether to receive it and to want more of it. Because I can't force fool you. I'm not going to force you to do it. Nah. For me, I'm good. I can't really teach that. Like, you got to have that. You know what I'm saying? I can teach you everything else. So a lot of guys that don't know me, kids that don't know me, they research and they did their homework and realize, yeah, I got to take this. You know what I'm saying? But you still got these new age kids and these new age cats that think they got it already, or they gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you don't have all the athletic ability in the world, man. But if you got this whole different type of hunger, like, it's gonna be scary. Like, it's scary for you because, like I tell you, boy, if I was 6'1", if I was 6 foot, I think it would be a problem. I would have, you know what I'm saying? You got to put me up there with those cats from the Patrick Petersons, right there in my prime when I was hitting it, or even before that, you know what I mean? Just because I could do everything athletically. You know what I'm saying? My game didn't go into another level till like year 6, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, with my kids, I love it. That's why I got a passion for training these kids right now, because this is what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna shoot it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta shoot it real with you, and you can take what you want with it, or you don't. But just know you got the whole blueprint right at
Right
your
there.
right there.
Right there.
Right
Answers
there.
are right there.
You called it the cheat code. I like
I
that.
call myself the cheat code, man. Coach cheat code, bro.
Coach cheat code. Well, speaking of that, like, have you thought about like coming back coaching in the NFL or maybe back at UGA or something?
Well, we talked about it, man. Honestly, I retired 2015, so I'm enjoying this, with my schedule that I have now. And college is definitely out the question because you're always on the road, you know what I'm saying? When you ain't at games, you're recruiting. And I kind of like my free time since I've been done. You know what I'm saying? If it works with my schedule, they're like, okay, well, let's talk. You know what I mean? But college right now, I think it's out the question. I'm not going to say I would never do it, but me trying to, like, where I'm at, got to be the grad assistants. You got to be the do boy for a while until you get a landing spot. Like, coach, no, like my resume right here. Like, come on, man.
Right.
But I need these hours. Can I get these hours? Oh, nah, Tim, you can get them hours.
But Tim, that's the big trend right now. A lot of players, a lot of ex-players are, running to coach HBCUs. And you said that you have a passion for teaching the kids, how to play the game the right way.
Yeah.
And then you also, it seems like you also had a passion for HBCUs, especially since you're right there in South Carolina.
I do have that, man. I do love that standpoint, like what Dion does. I wouldn't mind that, honestly, to tell you the truth. But all I'm saying is right now, for me, just now kind of retiring 5 years out and enjoy my family and the kids and everything like that, I don't want to jump into it right now. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm looking at right now, I think is my avenue is I'm hitting these younger kids. Like I'm hitting these middle school, high school kids that's getting ready for college. You know what I'm saying? So now, because I'm coaching at a high school right now, actually, too. So I'm doing that, but I'm also training these kids on the side to be able to also try to help develop you quicker than you on target to be. That way I feel like I can help these black colleges, you know what I'm saying, without all the long hours. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
You're trying to be recruited.
You gotta become an automatic, like a
you
feeder
feel me?
system.
Because there's other ways out there I can make that kind of money, but I ain't got to put in them kind of hours they talk about.
Right, exactly. Like, no, man. Everybody trying to be out here chasing after no high school kids after playing in the league all these years. No, man, everybody's trying to do that.
First, then you can have them.
Right.
Look, let me ask you this. A player with the name and a player that most people wouldn't think on both sides of it. What guy did you always lock down that had a name, and what guy does people may not know that you locked down? But on the flip side, what guy with a big name used to torch your ass, and what guy that didn't have a big name used to torch your ass?
Well, of course, man, me and Steve Smith used to go at it.
Ooh, Steve Smith was a motherfucker.
And he's a dog. Everybody asks, man, who's the tough receiver? Who's the tough receiver you win against? Man, Steve Smith all day, every day. He's a dog.
He's the toughest receiver anybody went against. That dude is ridiculous.
All I'm saying is in the conversation, people don't really throw Steve Smith's name out there like they should.
Disrespectful.
Well,
they don't know football.
Extremely disrespectful.
Because they'll be like, oh, I thought the Megatrons or the Chad Ochocinco. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, respect to all of them.
Tim, real quick, in the era where Randy Moss and T.O. were the dudes, Steve Smith was the dude right there with them. How, like, you can't put after those guys, and at times he jumped over one of them. The way his small self used to high point that ball, Steve, and let alone he'll knock you out. Steve Smith, dude, if you don't put, like, I think for most people, like Steve, only person that I would say to be an undersized guy that I may say kind of getting him a little bit, and just let you know how high I have Steve Smith. Antonio Brown is the only guy that I looked at as undersized, and I'm like, okay, I could start seeing, because he could go at Steve Smith, but Steve Smith to me is one of the greatest undersized. He's the great receiver in general, but he is the greatest undersized receiver. Because I could even say this with AB. I mean, and AB's been phenomenal. Look at his stats. I still don't know if he can high point that ball like Steve Smith could, and to be an undersized guy high pointing that ball like that was crazy.
No. I agree with you on that point. Like I'm a AB fan. I'm gonna tell you right now, but I'll stand on any table pole for AB. Because once again, y'all see what type of players that I admire a lot. And I think AB was one of those, you know what I'm saying? As far as to do it all, tough as hell, run some nice routes. Steve was a dog. Like you say, he'll go up and get a ball, but he'll go up and get a ball with like some humph to it. Like, damn, this little dude's strong. Like, and can pack all this power. So for me, Steve was one of those cats that I hate more because I knew it was gonna be a long day. And Steve was smart, he's savvy. Like, if I catch you slipping on this run play, I'm gonna dump you. Like, I'm gonna embarrass you out here, son. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a long day, but if I know it's a chance I can take advantage of you, I'm gonna do that. So Steve would keep me on my P's and Q's the whole game. Like, this ain't the day. This ain't the day right here. You know what I mean? And for him to get in and out of his route. So Steve is definitely one of my all-time favorites. You know what I mean? One of the toughest ones. I got it all locked down. I forgot the kid's name at Detroit that used to get in all that trouble, man. Hopping fences, stealing. Tatum, or Boise State receiver. He was at Boise State, little small skinny kid.
Okay,
you'll know him if you Google him or whatever like that.
I bet you I know someone who knows. I'm gonna bring her in right now. She might know exactly who you're talking about.
She a Detroit fan?
Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen. Do you know who Tim is talking about? The kid on Detroit? He was skinny. He used to steal stuff.
Got in a lot of trouble. He just couldn't stay in the league. Like, he got in trouble. Tatum. He was out of Boise State. He went to Boise State College. I'm gonna try to pull him up. Titan, something like that. But anyway, so Peanut
Titus Young.
Had trouble.
Titus Young?
Titus Young.
That's it. What? Very, very short stint. But anyway, you already know. Like, you opposite of Peanut. I mean, you opposite of Megatron at this time. And I'm like you're not that guy. Like, they took him kind of early or whatever. Like, yeah, he's not that guy. Like, he talk, act like a bad guy, but not that guy. So I thought anytime I played against him, he was boo-boo. So we about to go at it.
Money time.
Money time. Like, I'm gonna eat. Like, I gotta eat. You know what I mean? Like, but it is what it, yeah, man. I think, those two, it wasn't I respect a lot of receivers. Now, don't get me wrong, I respect a lot of receivers because at the end of the day, like, I ain't supposed to be here. I just gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? I saw your boy Rashid on here. I had Rashid on here, right?
Yeah.
Rashid. Hey,
yes,
so Rashid, when he was in Detroit, like, I knew Rashid route. Like, I knew you were running. Like, I knew you about to run that route. Like, you did. So he ran the route that I thought he ran, and I jumped that sucker, man. Like, I just, like, me, it's good. It's good competition because Rashid is a worker. Like, I know Rashid work. Like, you strong as hell too. So we about to tussle. Like, we got to tussle, man. So, she my guy, man. I respect a lot of receiver. Ocho Cinco, I thought he was nice because he was quick. He could get in and out his breaks. He has body control like nobody else. I saw T.O. at the end of his career when he was in Buffalo. Thought T.O. was running in the mud. I'm like, T.O., just go sit down, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of cats, man. But honestly, bro, like, ain't nobody that I seen at one time when I'm gonna just go back to Indianapolis. Like, man,
Marvin.
I had Marvin, I had Reggie. Don't forget Brandon Stokely.
Brandon Stokely slot, yeah.
Right, yeah. Don't forget Dallas Clark. Like, come on, man. And I had, Peyton throwing the ball. Like, the rest of these cats, y'all really kind of have to fall in behind them because these niggas gave me hell during the week.
Right.
I only got to see y'all on Sundays. Like, nigga, like this is easy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but Peanut, man, Peanut, they tall, they big. You got that. Like, take that. You got it.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Kenneth then. What quarterbacks gave you? Which ones did you know you was gonna eat against, and which one did you kind of be like, I hope he don't see me?
Man, the most success that I had, you already know. Like Andrew Luck, you cake. Like you young. I got you. You gonna try this, but it's not. Andrew Luck. I thought Cam was pretty predictable. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's predictable, if you hit your back for, oh my God, Eli Manning, like you my guy. Eli was my guy since college. Like Eli been throwing me picks since when he was at Ole Miss. I'm gonna just be real, like, and I know if you predict, because it's like if you predictable, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you predictable. Eli was so predictable. As soon as Eli hit his back foot, the ball coming out. Like, Eli, what are you doing? Right. Since Ole Miss, I lie to you not. Eli threw me my first career pick, and I took it 64 yards. Like, Eli. Like, you my guy. Anytime I see Eli, I'm about to eat.
Paycheck time.
I got to eat on Eli. Like, it was fun, man. Like, I knew it. I watched film on Eli in New York, but I didn't have to. Like, Eli, I know what you want. I know what you think you see. So I'm about to mess with you a little bit. Like, you think it's there, but it's really not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so predictable. But great quarterback. Great quarterback. But for me, I knew I was gonna have a play or two against Eli. Now, of course, A-Rod. Nah, you can't fuck with A-Rod like that. A-Rod fucks with you like that. Like, A-Rod gonna get a yo. Like, A-Rod kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, A-Rod is a little like
he different.
Yeah. Like, I
got you. You picked him, no?
Yeah, I got him a few times. I got him a couple times.
Yeah, you got him. You got him.
Yeah, but for me, you know what I'm saying? As long as you get A-Rod a couple times, you good. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand that A-Rod a different cat. Like, A-Rod know what you know times two. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm about to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate this a little bit because it's something coming behind this. Like, you think you know this, but I'm ahead of you. Like, nah, he running this. So A-Rod was a little, like, A-Rod was different. So you had to respect him. You had to be on your A game. You had to kind of like just be honest with A-Rod. But you had to take your chances here and there. You know what I'm saying? So A-Rod is definitely one of those top boys you really don't want to mess with, bro. Like, you don't
Ironically, that's the only time I really saw him struggle was against Lovey's cover 2. That's the only time I really saw him like have to really dig deep to see what he was gonna do. You could see them wheels turning.
We had our success every now and then, but A-Rod kind of took advantage of knowing how
he flipped it back.
He did flip the power back.
He flipped it back because they got Favre. Lovey had Favre, but A-Rod flipped that. He flipped that bad boy back.
Flipped that back, man. Yeah. Because if you can't get the A-Rod with your front,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And he can move. Listen, out of those, so who's the greatest quarterback? I mean, I take time. We get Tom Brady as the GOAT. He has all the winning. But if you had to, Yeah, he has all the winning. But you rank the quarterbacks that you faced and how you the tiers that you put them on as far as A-Rod, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning being a guy that you faced in practice all the time. How would you do that?
Okay, well, Tom being that GOAT, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really seen him too many times, but man, Tom been doing it for it's not even an argument. I'm telling you right now, it's not even an argument. But for the guys I played against, I mean, A-Rod, I'm gonna put up there, even over Peyton Manning a little bit. It's just the fact that it's a different attitude there. Like Peyton is next to Tom a little bit, but Tom's still doing this shit. Peyton, like he got it figured out. Peyton had it, but it's like Tom still got it figured out. You know what I mean? And A-Rod is just like, yeah, I got it figured out, but I got a little bit more sauce to it. You know what I mean? Like I got a little bit more sauce to it. I can make a little bit more of these tougher throws. And when you can put a ball in windows to where, oh, hell nah, coach, that ain't my fault. Like this man just put this ball on the money. I like Stafford. Like Stafford he makes some bad throws, like some good ass throws. Cause I also had to see him twice a year. You know what I mean? So I knew what Stafford really was capable of doing. And you talk about guys that I play against, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, trying to even think who else was over there in that area that really was making large. Like Favre had his run. I didn't get to see a lot of Favre, but he had his era, even in Minnesota. Who else was in there?
Wait, let me ask you this about Peyton Manning, right? As I told you, I was a Peyton Manning guy so much that I was rooting for Indianapolis to win the Super Bowl. So Bears fans be mad with me. So what? But let me ask you this.
I'm mad.
It's good, Terrence. You'll get over it. Look, let me ask you this real quick. Being a Peyton guy, Peyton was one of those dudes to me that was playing playoff football in the regular season. But when the playoffs started, he didn't have another level to go to. All right, like that's that. Like, tell me, this is your profession, so educate me, because it was like that's where usually in the playoffs where he got you can even go back to Tennessee, saying him getting but it was rare because even in the Super Bowl against the Bears, that's Dominique Rhodes and I forget the other running back that y'all have from LSU, I believe. Yeah, that's Joseph Badai. That's their MVP right there. Let's be honest. All right, that was their MVP. And like Peyton is a Super Bowl. Peyton got the MVP, but Peyton didn't play at an MVP level. So from the outside looking in, am I wrong when I make that with my opinion about Peyton right there?
I would definitely agree. 100% agree with you. I would 100% agree because honestly, how you see Peyton is how he is. You know what I'm saying? Like he always approached the game during the regular season business like, hey, this is business. We out here in practice. This is what we doing. This is how it's supposed to be done. Professionalism. I get it. Like that's why he had so much success that he had during the season. But then, like you said, playoffs, it really never elevated. You know what I'm saying? It was always the same, but like he was just always that winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why it never took off to a whole nother level during the playoffs that y'all expected to do. It's just like, well, shit, I see this shit every day. But I see it every day. I see it every day at practice. This is what I expect for him. Like, so for us as players, Peyton being Peyton. Like, yeah, you want him to kind of take it on another level. Shit, we all do, but I just – we don't put that on Peyton because he just this is who he is. Like he always approach it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that if you lose when you done, you know what I mean? Right. So for that point, that's why Tom hands down, because Tom figured out like long as we get rolling during this time, like we're gonna exploit your weaknesses a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna hit your weaknesses. Like I don't need these crazy numbers, 200-300 yards, 400 yards games. Nah, I just need this consistent ball movement on whatever's working, whether we gotta run the ball, whatever we gotta do, and we gonna be all right. You don't need all these flashes. So for Peyton and that Super Bowl, yeah, running that ball it is what it is. If it's working,
I'm with you.
You
got the ring.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it get lost up because Peyton probably threw the ball more than he should have been handing it off and running it. But y'all look at it like, hey, well, it's a great Peyton Manning. You got to make these pads. You got to make these throws. No, when you probably should have just been running that bitch all day.
Right.
You know
Right.
that's what it just comes down to. Like, you ain't got to throw that sucker 30, 40 times a game. You just got to manage it and ride this sucker out and see, if we make sure that we win this game. You know what I'm saying? So for that and watching Tom, that's where I'm at with it. Like, like Tom got the blueprint. Like, shit, just give me some smarty separate, some of these vets that know how to win in November, December, and I'm gonna do that. Like, Fournette, you hot right now? We running. Like, I don't need these big numbers. Like, AB, get open. You know what I'm saying? They got crazy athletes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't gotta force nothing. Like, just move the ball, do what it does to win these games, keep the pressure off our defense, and we good. And that's one thing about Peyton. Like, when our defense, I don't think we were that good besides the front, but Peyton kept the pressure up because he put up so many points. He throw these balls, throw these touchdowns, scoring these 40 points. It's fucking easy then. What you gonna do then when we gotta slow this game down? Right. Tom does that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom know how to do that. Like, nah, this is the pace you want to do. Let's do this. So, yeah, I mean, Peyton, shoot, I think he's definitely one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? But that pressure y'all put on Peyton, man, I seen Peyton every day, and I felt like for you to be this general every day at practice, that's hard. That's hard. And go to another team and still do that, like, okay, now you up there as one of the greatest to ever do it. So,
well, I'm gonna say this. If we had Tommy Harris, Peyton Manning wouldn't have got off. He wouldn't have got off like he did in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it would have been done. It would have been a wrap, wouldn't it, Kristen?
Hey, yeah, maybe they would have stopped that same pass when that saw far in the cover too. That they just kept exploiting.
You talking about the blown coverage though?
Reggie Wayne's touchdown.
Yeah, you talking about on the blown coverage though?
That too, yes.
Oh, okay. Let's not forget the blown coverage. All right?
That was pretty important.
But I agree with you. Like, Tommy, y'all not having Tommy. Well, did he even play? Did he dress?
No.
Oh,
no. So he didn't have him or
Tank Williams or Tank. Was it Tank Williams?
Tank Johnson.
Tank Johnson. Yeah. Both our tackles that we had just drafted like a year before or whatever was both out. So they was in the cover too. So you want your Warren Sapp, what's his name? You want that guy to sit there and crush that pocket right there in the 3 technique guy. So John Randall asked Cat.
But then somebody missed the tackle. Did somebody have him?
Oh, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about Tommy Harris was snapping it. At that point, Tommy Harris was the cheat code real quick. It's still like
pretty much.
The cheat code. What he was doing right there, he was freaky. He was freaky deaky right there around that time.
He also missed Mike Brown. Remember Mike Brown?
Mike Brown. Mike Brown.
I thought you were a Detroit fan.
Who? Me?
No. That's what you.
No, I just thought she might know who you were talking about. No. We don't have those. Okay, we don't have those on the Chicago Clubhouse.
We brought you that Detroit conversation like it was like you was a Detroit fan.
No, that's just when he brought me in.
I thought that too, Tim. I was like, oh, she must really like the Lions like that.
No, that was just a break.
Oh, okay, that was a little side show. All right, I got you. Hey, but no, Tommy Harris though, like I would agree. Like Tommy, before he got hurt, was a freak, man. Like Tommy, I didn't get to play him, but I saw Tommy a lot. Like I saw like before he got hurt was stupid. That's why, and honestly, that's when I knew I needed a dog D tackle you know what I'm saying, on them D lines. Like, I need some ends, but that D tackle, he got to be able to create some timing disruption. Like, that's why, honestly, my success, Henry Melton. Like, y'all remember Henry? Henry
Yeah,
was
Henry.
off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you give me a dog up there that create this pressure and make this quarterback throw this ball when he don't want to, but he has to. Oh, like, we eat back there. Like, Henry was good, so Tommy is a better version of Henry. You know what I mean? So that's a good argument. I mean, it's always going to be an argument, though.
It's just going to be an argument. It's always going to be a what if. Always.
You know?
And in the end, they still lost.
Yeah. I mean,
What if Thomas Jones had rid of the ball?
Hey, I had this conversation about a guy this past weekend. That would kill y'all. That changed the whole outcome of the game. After everything that went on, when Bob Sanders took Thomas Jones out the game, it was a wrap. It was over. It was over. Now y'all can blame Rex all y'all want. When Bob Sanders took Thomas Jones out the game, when he thumped them and made him fumble, y'all had no more running game. Y'all put it on Rex. Put it on Rex. For me, I thought that was a turning point because I'm on the sideline and I heard that sucker. I heard it like it was a thump. And when that ball came out, and I ain't see no more Thomas Jones the rest of the game. And that's what
Benson came in.
You know what I'm saying? Benson tried to do what he was doing, but Thomas was your horse. Yeah. Thomas was your guy. Thomas was toting that thing. Thomas was killing us.
Yes, he was.
Thomas was killing us. I was running that thing. But Bob took that boy out, man. Bob took that boy out in the backfield. I don't know who missed the block. I don't know what happened. All I did was heard that. I heard it on the sideline.
Sound like a car crash.
That thing was so loud, man, and it was pure. It was silent. I was like, see, that's why Bob came back doing playoffs. Like, that's why Bob missed that whole regular season.
Man, Bob Sanders was sweet.
Man.
Bob, he was nice. Like,
we respected him.
Value.
We respected him.
Mad love.
Yeah, that's value. Like, Bob missed the whole, like, we took care of Bob during the regular season. Like, Bob get healthy. Bob came back. Bob could practice. Bob could have played, but they're like, nah, Bob, we're going to playoffs. We're good. Get healthy. Get healthy. Get your legs fresh, man. Bob came back there and destroyed the playoffs, man. Destroyed the playoffs. Killed it.
Man, let me switch gears real quick, Tim. You see the jersey I'm wearing?
Philly.
Randall
Cunningham. All right.
What you think the Bears need to do in this draft? And I'm sending a subliminal message.
I know what you're saying.
Bro, why you want to go there, man? Why you want to go there?
You know what? Because I love your realness, bro. And I respect the fact that you know what you see and what you want to do with this game. So I need to know what do you think? I mean, I don't even know if you still got love for the Bears or not. I don't at this point. I mean, okay, 50, and that's what I'm trying to start. A bunch of us,
hey, get it. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with him. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like,
hey, be honest, man. Listen, I'm here. They don't do us right. So, and you're a former player, right? As a fan, they mistreat us all the time. So we ain't have to I feel you on that.
Yeah, but see, I don't want to get messed up from Chicago ownership or some fans still welcoming me to the city. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So we know you love the Bears. You love the Bears. We know you love the Bears. All right.
Well, I will say this. We've had some ex-Bears come on here, and they were not happy with management, and they said it. They said,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say, as long as the streets, we good. Like, I'm cool because I don't want to have to call my man. Hey, man, like, hey, I'm straight or nah? You know what I
mean? Hey, if you don't want to say it, you ain't got to.
I'm asking you this because I want you to get your Mel Kiper Jr. on right now. That's what I want you to do.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like, I haven't really been following y'all for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? After the whole Mitch Trubisky saga y'all pulled, I thought y'all knew something that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, so that kind of lost me in that whole transaction because I followed y'all up until that point. So, you know, I didn't know where that was going or what y'all was trying to do with it. To be honest, I'm not a racist guy. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying, or what y'all shouldn't do. I just think.
Yeah, I hear one too.
Huh?
I said I hear.
I'm just saying, you just gotta keep.
Come on, man.
I'm not racist.
No. I'm just saying, but if it's that, then it is what it is. Like, it's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. We can speak it. We can voice it. So as a former player, hey, look, I'm here to do a job. I'm behind 100% what y'all did. I really did like Jay Cutler. Like, I thought Jay Cutler was a good quarterback. I still think Jay Cutler is a good quarterback. You know, people say, well, I think we should take, you know, this guy, that guy. You know what I'm saying? If they're the best quarterback in the 50 system, maybe you should. Mm-hmm. But if that's the situation, everything, well, we passed on, or, you know, Buddy in Houston, or we passed on Mahomes or whatever like that. Yeah. Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could say that shit bit him in the ass now. So now they might take in consideration that, okay, well, let's take the best quarterback. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Now, if you got other intention, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. I don't get into all that. Because at the end of the day, I think y'all need more than that.
Right.
I think y'all need more than that. Because my argument always been, y'all got to the fucking Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
That's my guy.
I mean,
no, Kristen, no.
I did not know that.
That's my guy.
You love Rex Grossman? You like it?
I like Rex.
Yes.
I think you did you just age yourself? Did you age yourself? Because that's when you know, like when people like Rex, it's like there's a certain age group that like Rex.
I mean, I'm old, but that's all right. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm old.
No, I'm in young. I wasn't saying you was old.
I'm older. I'm older, and I'm a Rex girl.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman?
So you're a Rex girl because
you almost made me spit my shit out.
Hey, whatever.
I mean,
speak your truth, Christian. Speak your truth.
All the time. All the time. I will. And yes,
Rex, you're not that bad. Just in case he's watching or something.
I was gonna say he wasn't.
You're not that bad.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I was a Cal Orton guy.
Bad Rex,
I was a Cal Orton. I was an Orton guy.
So look,
and like that's so much better.
Orton was serviceable. He was serviceable.
Orton was a little bit better than service.
Orton was solid. Yeah, Orton was even a solid good quarterback.
Absolutely.
That's fine. That is great.
But Tim, it's me and you talking. You know.
So y'all looking for a superstar.
Well, just move it for me.
We're looking for a better quarterback than we've ever had. And the best quarterback we probably ever had. The best quarterback we ever had in my lifetime is Eric Kramer.
We're looking for a black quarterback too.
We're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get that.
That was just 1 year with Kramer that he played out his mind.
It doesn't matter if the line
who played better
blocking.
I mean, so being the controversial one.
We sound like trash right now naming these quarterbacks nationally that have played here in Chicago. We named Rex Grossman, Kyle Orton, and Eric Kramer nationally. This is the boy's problem. This is a fucking mess. All right, to say the listen, he's a professional player. He said, I don't even know who that is. He played for Detroit. Then he came here. He had to fight
Wait, he doesn't know who is.
Eric Kramer. He didn't know who Eric Kramer from South Carolina.
I mean, that's older. That is older. That's okay. You didn't know him.
Hey, look.
JB,
listen.
What you got?
Listen. We done just gave a lot of free publicity to some people that probably they don't even deserve it.
But charge for this.
As a Bears fan, former player, prognosticator, or whatever we calling ourselves nowadays, we cannot be happy with Andy Dalton going in as QB1. I will not stand for it. I won't stand for it, man.
You ask me a question, you want me to chime in? Like,
I'm asking you a question. What should we do? In your opinion, what should we do, man?
Hey, y'all gonna have to roll them dice again. Y'all gonna have to roll the dice again. That's all y'all gotta do. You gotta roll the dice again. You gotta have to take, honestly, from a former player, bro. Please. I'm gonna tell you right now, the locker room don't give a shit who your quarterback is.
Oh,
the locker room don't give a shit. So we really just gotta play for each other. You know what I'm saying? So if Andy's our quarterback, we playing for Andy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta support this guy. We gotta lead this guy up. Now, management, y'all bought this motherfucker in. If y'all know that's just not what it is, y'all need to do something about that. You know what I'm saying? Or bringing out other options. But as former players, we don't think about that. Like, nah, okay, well, we gotta score the points. I'm gonna tell you right now, Lovey was like, hey, we got to take the ball away because we ain't going, and we got to score on defense. If we were taking the ball away, y'all need to score. Now we got to score.
And he knew why, because he had Rex Grossman as his quarterback.
Even though he kept saying Rex is our quarterback.
That's that PR.
That's right. I mean, and look at the success, because Rex was a quarterback and their defense was great.
Yeah, and the Super Bowl, that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, yeah, y'all would love a Russell Wilson or these other superstar.
Don't do us like that, Tim. Don't do us like that. Let me push back. Let me push back real quick. Let me push back because I agree with you. You got to earn your paycheck anyway, right? In the locker room, so you can't be worried about what management's narrative and what they up to. But you play with Peyton Manning, and I always say this to Bears fans: you knew any Sunday. All right, man, we get into this motherfucker. We get into a shootout, our guy can get us out. We get down, our guy can get us out. You come to Chicago, that was not an option. As you just said, Lovey was like, y'all have to score on defense. Make sure you crowd the ball. Make sure you knock the ball out. And then you even had to have Devin Hester to sit there and do something on special teams. So you can't tell me to a certain degree you would prefer a better quarterback so you wouldn't have to do all that shit. Like, that's like that. Because I'm just saying here, because you just looked at it, you just, listen. I'm happy you disrespected Eric Kramer, and Eric Kramer's been through a lot, so the best to him. But the point is, no, not you, you weren't dissing him, but the point that you're saying, just pointing out how bad it's been here at the quarterback position. I mean, this is not just our plight. This is like our grandfather's plight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at teams like the Bengals, dog. They got quarterbacks, right? Like they at least got Boomer and now Joe Burrow. We ain't got nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Ever. I definitely agree with you. I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never had that. Not that I ever known of. Well, y'all had the man. The man was exciting, right? Was he?
But that was 30 years.
He was hurt too much, and he was hurt too much. If he was healthy, maybe they would have got.
Let's not forget. I'm just saying. Let's not forget. Okay.
It wasn't great.
He died in Chicago.
What is Chicago known for? Monsters of the Midway.
Defense.
Okay?
Defense. Okay. And that's where they put all their money.
Identity. That's your identity. Now, when we lost that identity, honestly, and what pissed me off, when you hired your boy. Trestman.
Yeah, see?
They put all the money on the offense side.
You feel me? Like, that's not your identity. That's not your identity. So what's the identity we got here? Monsters Midway. Okay, yeah, the defense here and there. We always have a mediocre quarterback or whatever. I get it, but when you brought in Trestman and now you just changed up the whole identity. See, now y'all talking about, all these quarterback issues and offensive issues. Y'all done changed the identity. From what I knew from Chicago, was Monsters of the Midway. Like, it was always your defense. And you had an okay quarterback, offense, or whatever like that, but your identity then was your defense. So that's what I knew of it. And then when you switch it up, it's kind of like, okay, now you done kind of lost your identity. What are you going for here? Like, now you want that superstar quarterback. Now you want to go to that high power offense. Okay, so now your defense is like, okay, it is what it is. So that's why I'm like, I think y'all got to kind of, your identity has to revamp. Like, Indies, what was their identity? Like shit, Peyton Manning, high power offense. We always been that game.
High power offense.
That identity still to me hasn't changed. I think, you know what I'm saying? So now Kansas City, high power offense, Patrick Mahomes, okay defense. We're gonna get after you, but Patrick Mahomes the guy. You know what I'm saying? So y'all confuse me a little bit with the identity purpose. So that's why I'm like, maybe I need to take my talent somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
We want I think, and I'm happy you brought up the Trestman part. We still want the defense, and we're not even saying push all the money to the offensive side. What we're saying is to have a good quarterback so that can bail our asses out. Like, that's the thing. Like, we don't even have somebody where we can be like, we got him, right? You don't have to have top flight receivers with him, because that's the thing about a really great quarterback. Like, Aaron Rodgers has not had the greatest receivers in the NFL, and I like Adams, but you look at Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson was not the top receiver. Even if you look at Brett Favre, a lot of those. One thing good about Green Bay is they have good receiving cores outside of like really Sterling Sharp. They don't have the best receiver. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that
Robert Brooks,
but they have a group of guys, and they don't spend money like that. But the fact that they got a stud at quarterback, it covers up for all that mess. Like we look, I want the money on the defensive side, but I want somebody to cover up the rest of this mess, because it's a lot of mess here. A lot of shit, around here.
All I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all do that, your identity already missing. Like, because now you know it's just gonna switch over. Like, with the quarterback, we got this. You know,
you're right.
It's all them. You know what I'm saying? So that's
talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but this last point. But that's why y'all signed Khalil Mack. Like, that's why y'all pay him all that money, because you still want to kind of create that identity on the defensive side.
True, but when all you doing is three and outs, even defensive players get tired, bro.
So y'all really just looking for, I think, from business management side, I don't know. You looking for a nice, solid quarterback.
Hey, look. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The Baltimore Ravens won with Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco. Do I have to say anything else?
So you looking for that? Sign Flacco.
That's
not this Flacco. Not this Flacco. He wasn't there last
year. We keep talking about like Aaron Rodgers and Tom, like all those people. Okay, that's not coming here. Nothing to that caliber is coming here. So if the Bears are going to be thinking about what they need to do to build a partial offensive identity, they have to start thinking of that next level, that next tier, because there's nothing like an Aaron Rodgers coming here anytime soon. They're not going to be able to make it happen. So what's the next tier of quarterbacks, and then how can they build that line, and how can they build a system to fit whatever quarterback they bring in here? Because it's clearly not Nagy's system with whatever they're planning on bringing in.
Well, I think that's what y'all tried it with Trubisky. Y'all tried to draft that quarterback, move up at number 4 or whatever y'all had to go get him. I don't know what it was. 10 or whatever like that.
It was 3-2.
I mean, I just think,
just 3-2. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, you gotta draft that. You gotta go up there again and try to get that and see if that's the. You talk about who the draft is. Y'all at 10?
No, we at 20 this year.
Y'all at 10. So you asking me who y'all should draft at 20?
Yeah, no, this is a scenario. I think what Christian was trying to get right now. The Bears basically have to move up, and if you kind of look at what happened, so today Denver, they traded for Teddy Bridgewater. They got luck. I mean, they got Locke. So maybe they're not gonna go for a quarterback, because that's the team you were worried about getting the quarterback ahead of you. If Mac Jones goes to the 49ers, you don't know what's going to happen to Trey Lance and Justin Fields, because right now Atlanta may not draft a quarterback. So let's just even say out of those two guys, if you had your druthers looking at these quarterbacks coming out in this class, which one do you think is going to be the most successful besides Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, the most successful. I mean, I like a Trey Lance. I think, you guys can, anybody can develop this kid. I think he got some potential there. I think he'll be anybody's, franchise quarterback, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Just say you look at any intangibles besides Trevor Lawrence. Any of them even with what's my guy at Ohio State? Fields.
Justice Fields.
You know what I'm saying? I think he would be a good additional to kind of see to build around it. You know what I'm saying? But once again, it's just always scary. It's scary, bro. Like for me, it's scary. I don't know. If I'm at a GM, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna look at potential, I'm gonna look at upside. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have the for sure guy, I'm gonna possibly look at another, situation where I could possibly get the next best thing that's some of the tangible that I think that we like, the thing that we could build with. But it's scary, man. It's scary up at that high if you don't have that for sure pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, there they could try to trade up. If y'all trade up, y'all better grab one of them boys. You gotta grab one. You don't do it. I mean,
quarterback.
If you could trade up,
okay.
I think if you could trade up, you could. If they're gonna be there, you know what I'm saying. Switch with Atlanta. I don't know what it is. Once again, Ken, if I don't follow all that, like I just
got you. No. Believe me. I think anytime somebody spent a career doing something, you're not trying to follow behind that once you get up out of that, spending all that time and everything you had to put into that. So believe me, I totally understand that, bro.
So I just don't know what pick y'all got right now.
They picking at 20. The thing is they perhaps some thoughts of maybe they'll move back. Maybe they'll go after a Kellen Mond or Davis Mills in the second round, and maybe snap pat and take a tackle. I wouldn't be unhappy if they took a tackle at 20, because
but who's going to be there? Darrisaw going to be gone.
Do you think Darrisaw's going to be there? Elijah?
I necessarily don't know. I'm not even saying that necessarily, but at least you have somebody that can maybe come in and write. People we dislike Leno, but Leno and the contract he has, and he didn't have a terrible season last year. He's adequate enough at left. He's adequate if he's adequate enough at left. Listen, I'm not caping for Charles Leno Jr. here. All right, so don't put that on me, Terrence. I mean, don't you dare put that on me. All right, I'm just
that dude is because speed bump Charlie.
But see, this would be the problem. See, we talk about getting a tackle, and then we're like, man, you get a tackle, you move him to the left. But then you're creating a situation where you don't necessarily know if you have a right. If Fetty is looking at being the right tackle, correct. But what you could do is get a kid, stash him over there, right? Let him grow a little bit. Leno, dog, tackles get paid in the tens of millions. Leno, I think, is making like $9 million this year. I mean, like for what y'all pay him for, he's straight.
He's cap friendly.
Yeah, he's straight. Like for what you pay him. Listen. Terrence, believe me, I'm with you. I am not here but I'm being a realist on what you have here, because we can't just play Madden and switch all these cats out or whatever. But like,
hey,
so that's
you would agree. You would agree, you guys. Pretty much taking this year off, or you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out what's going on because of the Andy Dalton situation.
Hey, and they don't have no cap space to do anything. So how
where's the money going to come from?
They have like, what did someone say? 400,000, 40,000. It was something.
But they have to. They're going to clear. They're going to switch enough money to sign the draft picks. Though we know that's going to happen as far as getting the draft picks done. But I mean, it's try to. This is the thing, Tim. It's try to be adventurous and jump, because this is another part. I've only seen 2 drafts in my lifetime, and one of them I wasn't even really sentient. It was '83, so I wasn't watching NFL really in '83. I was barely learning to wipe myself. And that draft had Elway, Marino, and Jim Kelly in it. And then the Eli, who you ate up draft with Roethlisberger and with Phillip Rivers. Outside of that, how often have we seen 3, let alone more, quarterbacks that develop into stars? And in this draft, we think all 5 of these cats going to be good, which is like, okie dokie, I guess.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Nah.
Honestly, I don't know. I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think you can miss with any of those picks. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, we think it's a for sure. It'd be exciting to watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little skeptical about Justin Fields because I just feel like, bro, if you didn't beat out Jake Fromm at Georgia.
Oh, I was gonna ask that. I was going to ask you. I had that question racked for you. Is that Jay? Wait. Is that him or is that Kirby? Because to me, I was going to ask you this. Did Kirby make a mistake, Tim? As an other guy, I was going to say, Tim, did Kirby make a mistake? Because Jake Fromm had his invitation, and you should have probably just, even though Kirby got you there, you should have went with Justin Fields. Team black quarterback.
I mean, let's do it. I see that. I see we got all this going on right now. I'm a realist, and I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? But I try to keep it real myself. I don't try to play black or white or whatever like that, which I understand every situation about it. Even though I know Georgia is a, you know what it is.
Georgia's Georgia.
Yeah, it's Georgia. It is what it is. Nothing changes. And I knew Kirby Smart has to answer to people above him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get into detail about that. But I believe that you play the best guy available. I believe Kirby when you tell me that. Like, we're going to play the best cat. And if Jake Fromm is at that time the best cat and he's our starter, he's clearly the best cat. Like, because if you bring a Justin Fields over here and you told him, hey, we're going to play you or we're going to have you a chance to compete for the starting job, you have to believe that as a player. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, give me a chance to compete. Right. If I don't beat him out, well, shit, I'll come back next year now. I'm going to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So whether it is what it is, I'm just saying if you were so much better than Jay Fromm, it should have been a no fucking question. Like, nah, bro, like we playing this guy. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I kind of seen it before, but I also seen instances where it's a
like
battle.
You don't know who he had to answer to for that pick because as you see, look at what Fields has done and look at what Fromm did. So
now let me piggyback off of that because I'm not all Fields though.
Okay.
Yeah, what you see as Fromm did, Fromm is a system quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do what we need you to do. Don't fuck us up. We'll make it do what it do. So if he's a good guy for that, that's cool. That's what y'all going for. But let me piggyback off of Fields a little bit. Yeah, you go to Ohio State and you show your ass off like you was this great quarterback. Like, did we not see that at Georgia? Or is it in Ohio State offense, everybody looks good? Talk to me like I mean, it is what it is. I look at all tangibles here, but
I mean that's a good point because that system. But so coming out of college, everybody knows this. Ohio State quarterbacks are usually terrible.
Coming out of college, but in college,
great in college, terrible in the NFL. That's normally what Ohio State. I can hell, Terrell Pryor, they switched his position.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anybody heard of Cardale Jones? Where's he at? So,
I don't know.
But for this man to be a black quarterback, the decision making, the head honcho, 70% completion percentage, 50 like he's done some pretty amazing things where I think you need to take a look.
We really go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JB.
I was gonna say now whether it's the system or not. Hell, I can take you back in the day when Cliff Kingsbury threw for 5,000 yards at Texas Tech and wasn't nobody going after Cliff Kingsbury. But we look at Mahomes like, man, he might have something.
So basically, let's go ahead. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him this money. Let's take a chance on him. You know what I'm saying?
If
let's do it.
Bears, you have to atone for what you did, not drafting Watson, not drafting Mahomes with this Mitch Trubisky fiasco. It would be different if they kept Mitch.
Whoa.
But Mitch is gone.
I don't know.
Mitch is gone. It'd be different if you said, hey, I hitched my wagon to this guy. We're going to ride him till the wheels falls off. Meaning when that regime changes, hey, we did all we could with the guy we drafted. Hey, Mitch is gone. And this regime right now, God help me, I don't know why, gets to pick another one.
Yeah, that's messed up.
You better make it right.
You better make it right, huh?
Because then if you don't, the next coach and the next GM, they're going to be handcuffed. They're not going to be able to do anything.
I'll get ready for that.
I mean, that's a good point. I'll trade my 20th pick or whatever like that. Trade my 20th. Let me go over and move up to number 4. Let me go ahead and grab somebody.
If that's in the cards, but that's a very lofty leap.
That's a very lofty leap.
And then you're trusting
Nagy.
the same people to make
You trusting Nagy to be able to figure these kids out when we know he couldn't do that. I'll just say this real quick, Tim, and you kind of pointed this out. I wish I could depend. I wish in my heart of hearts I was like Justin Field is that dude. And I'll say this: when his comp is Cam, I'm fearful here in Chicago because when you look at winning, it's initially it sitting there Carolina, Cam was doing Cam, but Cam wasn't winning until that MVP year. And on top of that, I hate seeing them with design runs just beating the hell out of these quarterbacks because Cam was going to run anyway. You didn't have to have 12 design runs and then he's going to take off another 10 times. Like that's why his body is where it is now. So when you're telling me I'm gonna get Justin Fields now, he's shorter than Cam. He's the comp is Cam and he's smaller than Cam. And we see where Cam is. It makes, and I'm not saying that he's not going to be good and to a point that it wouldn't benefit us for a short amount of time. But I hopefully try to look for the long haul, and I worry about him because if Cam's the comp, Cam kind of, you said it from picking his ass off, basically being predictable. It's just Cam didn't figure it out in the pocket enough, and that's even with me being team black quarterback, I still want somebody that's going to be able to figure that issue out.
Team black quarterback. Okay, I'm gonna use that shit. First of all, I'm team black quarterback all the way too. But I honestly don't. I mean, I'm with you. I just don't know. Like, if it ain't a for sure, when are you just rolling the dice? Like, you're gonna roll them dice again. You know what I'm saying? I just think. I mean, Trevor is the only one upside that I'm like
that you can be sure of pretty much right now.
Pretty much right now. I mean, Trey Lance. Let's see. Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I'm not. That's who I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on Zach Wilson.
I'm not sold on him either. You know what I'm saying? But I think exactly you see some intangibles there. You see what they're trying to compare him to a fucking Johnny Manziel type of those type of guys that first round picks. All right, whatever. You know, Fields a more pocket passer. I think. Hey man, he ain't gonna wow you, but I think he's solid. Like I think he's a real solid quarterback. I want him to be successful, but I don't want him to get crucified in the wrong fucking system. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want him to do that.
Two things you know for sure: if he landed here in Chicago with Nagy's system, he's got a solid receiving core. He definitely does, and Nagy gonna throw that. He gonna throw that ball 50 times. He definitely gonna air that ball out. So he gonna have his chances. That's two things you know for sure.
You said a solid receiving core. Who? Besides A-Rob. Besides A-Rob.
You need another guy, but Darnell Mooney should be
Darnell Mooney is
guy.
like Tyreek Hill.
He should be, but they need another dude. It's better than what it's been.
Definitely need another dude.
They just signed Marquise Goodwin.
And everyone's trying to say that still doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I said.
Does that move you? Does that move you? That doesn't move me.
I said solid. I didn't say they were great. I said solid. We just talked about Cole Kmet last night. Come on now.
Yeah, hey, true.
That's why I tell you, I think like for me with Chicago, y'all need it's a lot to kind of figure out over there. And
absolutely.
When I'm at in life, I don't need the stress. I still rock with. I rock with y'all, man. I rock with my Blackhawks. I rock with my Cubs. I rock with my Sox. I rock with all my Chicagoans, bro. But when it comes to the Bulls, I rocking with the Bulls. I mean, it is what it is. But for me, I don't need that stress in my life right now.
I feel you.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, it's stressful for us, man. It is stressful.
I hear it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, dealing with these Bulls and Bears is stressful being a Chicago team fan.
You wouldn't be smiling so much, Tim, if you cared about the Bears.
I know, and that's why I'm good. Like I'm happy that I'm on this side and not your side, because y'all love y'all Chicago teams. Like I rock with the fans so much. You know, y'all could be some assholes too now. Y'all,
Facts.
it's some
Absolutely.
Facts.
Definitely.
We good.
Definitely.
But when we down, we gonna crucify y'all. Like, damn,
Yes.
what's going on?
Yes.
We'll build you up and then tear you down quick.
You know what?
So that's why I'm like, okay, I rock with y'all because y'all fan base, y'all gonna rock with them whether they good or not. But when y'all disappoint me, we're gonna let you hear it because we rolling deep. Like when we move, we roll deep.
One thing about
the level
Chicago.
What you say about it, Chicago? Go ahead.
Oh, one thing about Chicago fans is like shit is either black or it's white. If y'all are winning, we on board. There ain't no gray area. Ain't no gray area. Oh well, you know, it's okay. No, fuck that. If you're not winning, oh no, you suck. Boo. We're not rocking with you like that.
We're still gonna watch and go to
yeah.
the games though.
Yeah, that's true. We're still gonna buy the Urlacher jerseys, and
I'm not buying.
No, we're not buying the Urlacher jerseys no more though.
Well, not the Urlacher. I just threw that name out there.
I got love for what he did, but we're not buying that jersey no more.
No, I just threw that name out there.
We player, but not as a person.
Yeah, we're not right. We're not buying it. No more of that money. Real quick, Tim, being the cornerback, and you mentioned that your number one guy is J.C. Horn. He's a dog. Ranking from J.C. Horn to Patrick Surtain the second to Greg Newsome to Caleb Farley. How do you rank those guys?
I mean, that's solid. You know, of course. Once again, I ain't watched them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I watch.
Keep it a buck.
I'm gonna
like you earned your money. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You did what you had to do.
I watched JC. The only reason why I watched JC because I knew him in high school out here in Georgia. So we done, I done trained with him. I done touched JC a little bit. I could see what he had. You know what I'm saying? So him going to South Carolina, I already knew JC was. So I think that might give me the slight edge a little bit over JC. First of all, being my number one. So when I hear about these corners of the Farleys from Virginia Tech, I go YouTube a little bit, see some highlights or whatever like that. And who else? Surtain. Now I like Surtain a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because watching his little highlights, like he seems like he's ahead of the game. Even though your dad or whatever, like he's patient. You know what I'm saying? He's athletic and he can press man, but he can mix it up a little bit. He can play a little off. He can play a little press. I like Surtain a lot. Fairley and Newsome. I like Newsome, but I also like the kid from Florida State, Lil Samuels. Once again, he's inside and he's outside. So I saw that a little bit too. Fairley, I'm still on the fence a little bit with him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really, when I watch it, he didn't really step out to me to where I was like, all right, I'll put you above these other cats. So once again, I ain't seen a lot of them. I watch SEC ball. I'm an SEC cat. Like
it's the best
I'm
ball.
Georgia all day.
In Big Ten country, let me tell you that it's the best football too. All right.
Okay, well, see, I ain't want to throw that out there because I know
I will throw it for you.
It's the truth.
It is true.
Roll Tide all day.
It's true.
So, okay, as long as we agree with that, then that lets you know I'm just watching SEC ball. I'm watching the LSUs. I'm watching the South Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the Floridas. I'm watching all that just the fact that because I know the level of football I like to watch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying the other ones is competitive. I don't know because I haven't played there, but even watching, I'm like, y'all come to the SEC, y'all getting smacked.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell it's different. It's evident. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, okay, a Clemson could come in here, but Clemson ain't going to be as cake. Like, you're going to leave out here with a couple bruises now.
That ACC mess
You
they
know
get away
what I'm
with
saying?
that weak ass schedule every year. Talk that talk, Tim, boy.
That's what I'm
Kurt,
saying.
listen. Also, let me say this. While I'm on here too, F Dabo Sweeney. I just want to say I shouldn't have done that. I'm getting. I'll do that. Thank you, JB. Just wanted to point that out. He don't let his players be his players. I don't like all that, but Dabo crying and whatnot.
Hey, funny how all that dirt came to light real quick, didn't it?
Dude, you in that easy ass ACC, and then you complaining about where you going. You don't play. You play basketball teams all year long. Damn it! Like stop. Like that bothers me. Yeah. And then
you of course, play Mitch Trubisky.
Then I'll say this
exactly,
too, and I know this isn't a space for this. I'm sorry, Terrence, but college is a place where you're supposed to find yourself and who you are. And when you tell young men they can't do certain things and you stop them, I have a problem with that. So that's when Dabo and me, he really was like, nah, son, I can't rock with that whatsoever.
As who they are. Absolutely.
That's where you find that's how you develop into a young man when you're in college and stuff like that.
What did they used to tell us it was called? Finding your character.
That's big. That's true. Like,
definitely a big problem with that.
That's where it all started. That's why I tell my boys, man, like, look, man, go to a place that fits your personality. Like, it is what it is. Go to a place that fits your personality, be who you could be, and make the best of that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? My kid literally committed to Clemson. He saw all that shit that came out and decided, okay, I'm going to admit to Clemson. I'm going to go to Ohio State. I could have told you that a long time ago, but you didn't want to listen to the cheat code, but it is what it is. Yeah, go to a place, man, honestly, that fits your character, because you're gonna at best expose you as a player. You know what I mean? And what you can and what you can't do. So we're gonna find that out from Fields. Like, did that really fit your character, or it just really fit what they was looking for? That's why I don't know. Like, I hate guys that bounce around. Oh, this ain't working. Let me transfer here. Oh, this ain't working. I got a problem with that. Like, figure out what you got to do, you know what I'm saying, to be the better person or the better player that you got to be. Fight through that, and I guarantee it's going to show you who you really are by the time you get to the NFL. I just ain't believing that. I guess with me coming up, when we came up, all that transfer and shit, that shit was dead. Like, I knew from a jump, this is a place I want to be. Now, if it was for the coach, then okay, my coach leaving, then I'll leave. All that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I built this character between you. When things get tough, I can't jump ship. I just can't jump ship when it got tough. You know what I'm saying? It's just some shit I just don't really abide by. You know what I'm saying? So for Justin and all these other cats, like, it is what it is. It's just different with that. But from like that college, like you said, bro, that young is just really you build people and characters right there in college. Like, that's gonna be the biggest stage in your life where you find out who you really are.
Tim, you know this more than we know this. It's a business, and because I don't have as much of an issue when it comes to the transferring, because let's just say it was going to be Jake Fromm from another year, and that was going to stop you from necessarily getting to the bread. You look at Bryant over there at Clemson. Now, clearly, Trevor Lawrence was better than Kelly Bryant, but still, he thought he was going to be the man after Deshaun Watson, and Dabo was like, sit your ass down. And when you get in that situation and you trying to get to that next level to get that bread, because in all fairness, and you're right, because I got into this argument with somebody, with Phil Toshin, like a week ago, when you're in a situation like that, to where you may not get a chance at, like sometimes it may not be written for you. Everybody can't necessarily be Mac Jones to where you can sit it out. Because in all fairness, Mac Jones semi-locked. It's on Mac Jones that he got himself prepared that way, but also the pandemic ensured that necessarily he was going to be the starter, because Young wasn't going to be able to come in there. They couldn't practice and do stuff like that. So everyone can't be Mac Jones, and it has helped. It helped Justin Fields, one, to get from up under there. So to a degree, I'm not against them transferring, because you may sit behind somebody and never get your chance and wish what could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agree. It's a business. Like, it is a business standpoint, and I guess to me, and I always put my situation and where I came from in that, you know what I'm saying, in that seat, in that throne. For me, once again, I ain't supposed to be here, but I'm here. So let me take the best of this opportunity right now, whether it's my degree. Back then. Now you guys are going to the business aspect. Oh, well, he's just all 5-star quarterback. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be that. Now I got to become a business mindset for that kid. All right, so now you done made me switch gears from where I kind of take a, feel like I got to take advantage of the situation. Now I got to be more business like situation as far as let me see what's gonna get me to this bread first. Not knowing how my, it's gonna turn out for me, but let me take advantage of this bread right now. So I think Justin Fields would have still, if you good enough, they're gonna find you. But you're gonna have the right situation, the right team to kind of find you or put you in a niche, in my opinion. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna transfer and get this bread and be the number one quarterback. So now you got the business mindset of, all right, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my expectations. But when you don't hit those expectations, how do you react to that? How do you come back from that? Because you ain't never experienced that. You were so quick to thinking that this is what it's supposed to be like. I'm supposed to have this.
How do you handle adversity?
How do you handle this adversity? Like, I need to see how you handle these adversities first before I can invest anything in a number top 5 quarterback. That's just for me to be real with you.
That's an excellent point. Excellent point.
Yeah, because business is going to be a business regardless when I get to that situation to where I need to negotiate this or figure out what's the best business decision. But I don't know, because I done seen too many kids come up thinking that, like this is supposed to be what it's supposed to be like. That way it don't happen, I don't know what to do. And then I don't want you to fall flat on your face because you never had that cushion. Like you never had that whole figure out like what's what after this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a touchy subject. I'm always, man, hey, go to college. Hey, you go to college to get your money. Go to college to get your money. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you make the best opportunity. Get your money.
Makes sense. So, yes.
Hey, Tim, before we let you go, I got a question that I always ask everybody that spends some time in Chicago. You went to, I'm sure you've gone to a lot of places to eat, right?
Ooh, yeah.
But I'm going to ask you this ageless question that a lot of people are still trying to answer in Chicago. Well, I ain't trying to answer it. I've already answered it. Mm-hmm. Harold's Chicken, or Uncle Remus?
So I'm gonna have to tap out on now. So for some reason, ain't nobody ever took me to Uncle Remus.
Oh, for real?
You ain't missing nothing. It's
I was about to say you good. You good.
Okay. So that's probably why. Like that's probably why. I ain't gonna lie. Nobody ever told me about it. I ain't never heard about it. It was always the Harrows, you know what I'm saying, and all the other upscale.
Ain't nobody taking Bears players to the West Side like that.
It kept us away from that. I had a solid team. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, all my guys in Chicago, I appreciate the love and support, but they never take me that far, man. My team was solid up there in Chicago, the real talk.
Everybody don't say Harrows. Rashid, Bernard. Actually, did Kristen, you were on that call with Bernard. Did he say Harold's or Uncle Remus? I think he said Harold's.
He said Harold's.
Okay. So yeah, everybody is saying Harold's, dog. So you know what? Uncle Remus, get on out of here. You ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, they expose us to that one, man. I hear more about Portillo's than Uncle Remus. I'm just sorry. It is what it is.
Portillo's is fire. great burgers at
Man, I ain't
Portillo's.
gonna lie. Look
People
at him,
sleep
man.
on the
I'm a Southern
burgers,
guy.
bro. People sleep on the burgers.
Yes.
They
They go for the Italian beef. Get the burgers.
Italian beef and them burgers. Like I was hooked. Like I look forward to coming to Chicago so I can hit those spots. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta have
Right.
Portillo's because we ain't got that shit. Harold's, we got one here in Georgia, but it ain't the same. Like, nah, this Harold's chicken ain't the same. So
Like you said you in Georgia?
Yeah, I live in Atlanta, bro. I live in Atlanta.
Oh,
Georgia.
really? I went to Morehouse.
Yeah.
I graduated from Morehouse. Yeah, I sure
okay, that's
did.
what's up, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. After I came to Georgia and went to school here, man, I just like, nah, I ain't going back to South Carolina. Georgia's home for me.
Right.
Yeah, I feel
Right. You probably right.
Atlanta's the shit. I love Atlanta, man.
Chicago, I rock with y'all. Chicago, I rock with y'all. But once that season was over, I was out of there. Like, I can't do this.
Right. It's too damn cold in Chicago. It's too damn cold, man.
You know what?
I get it. I get it. Hey, man, this was great. We had a great conversation. Great insight from you. And you got a great story, man. And I just appreciate you coming on the pod, man. Straight up.
Hey, man, appreciate you having, man. I told you already, man. I had some shit to get off my chest, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you, bro. That's all I got.
Absolutely.
No doubt. That's what we want, man.
Appreciate it, too.
When do you think you're going to come back to Chicago? Because we gonna kick it with you.
Ooh. Hey, I'm going to keep you posted, man. I was actually thinking about coming up there this past weekend for Mother's Day because I think we're going to fly my mom because my sister still lives out there. So she wants to see her mom. She wants to see her mom or whatever, but my son got a soccer game because I ain't going to be able to do it. But I'm going to keep you posted, man. As long as that weather is about 60, 70, I could do something around this time in spring. But I think we're going to come up there quick because I like to travel and come up there and play golf, man. So I keep y'all posted, man.
You were talking about rolling the dice earlier. That's what the weather's doing. It's rolling the dice. You know, it was 80s yesterday. It was like 50s today. So
shit, 46.
Oh yeah, see, y'all can have that shit right now.
Yeah, man. But definitely we're gonna stay in contact. For sure. We're gonna stay in contact.
All right, man. For sure.
But
appreciate y'all having me, man.
No doubt. Nice meeting you, Tim.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, homie.
Y'all have a good night.
Yep.
You too, brother.
You be cool, man.
Yeah, man. Stay up, man.
Man, that was great.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Kirsten, you okay?
I'm fine.
Everything cool? Ken, you straight?
Hey, I appreciate y'all bringing me on. It was a pretty good time.
Man, I loved it. And your questions will make you go like, damn, for real? Fuck. So yeah, you was on point. JB, you straight? We had a great time.
I'm straight, but you know me, I always got a little extra 10, 12 minutes left in me.
Go ahead, JB. Go ahead, because I know you got something. Go ahead.
So, Kristen Kenneth, this is my fear. We draft the best lineman available, right? At 20. Rumors are they're looking at a linebacker, which I just don't, whatever. I don't want to end up with a Kyle Trask type in the second round.
I don't even.
I think that would be like the death nail. But I could see, based upon these idiots, you know, I can see them doing stuff like that. And I'm kind of tired. I mean, if I get on my soapbox, please reel me back in. But I'm kind of tired of having our black quarterbacks overly scrutinized for the same things that our quarterback counterparts don't have to go through. Case in point, I was reading an article talking about Justin Fields' character. How does this man have a character issue if he's never been in trouble?
Mm-hmm.
But yet, nobody wants to talk about the DUIs that Mac Jones got freshman year. See, a lot of y'all may not have even known that. See, I try to dig a little deeper.
I didn't know that.
I knew it. Yeah, I just read that shit.
That is a character flaw. I go to Trey Lance where now he's getting a little bit of pub and everything, and then they're saying but he needs to sit a year. You know, he didn't really play against top-notch competition in FCS. But just a few years back, when Carson Wentz was the number 2 pick, it doesn't matter what competition he played against in North Dakota State. We know he's going to be good.
Ooh, let me push back with that one a little bit. I'll push with because you're right, except the Carson Wentz the part. Because if you remember, and you got on the Randall Cunningham jersey, if you can remember that year they had Sam Bradford, and what happened was Carson Wentz came out there and stunned their ass. Because that's why I remember when the Vikings had lost Teddy Bridgewater.
Right,
and they ended up because they got a number 1 pick for Sam Bradford, right? But they moved off of Bradford because of what they saw with Carson Wentz early on. I'm only saying that as far as because initially they were going to keep Sam Bradford.
He was going to be the starter. Yes,
he was going. Yeah, but when they saw what Wentz did coming up to that, they knew that they could. You know what? We can get one because Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. I believe it was Teddy Bridgewater at that time. It may have been somebody that was replacing Teddy Bridgewater, but no, I think it was Teddy Bridgewater when Teddy Bridgewater got hurt.
Yeah, I want to say Sam Bradford was there.
Yeah, because Teddy blew. Did Teddy blow his knee out I know it was in practice. I don't know if it was the preseason or if it was during the regular season.
I thought it was at the end of the regular season because he actually.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't remember necessarily if at that point that's why Sam Bradford ended up there, but it was because Carson Wentz had showed out why they moved. But you're totally right. I'm only saying that part. You're totally right that it's an unfair narrative, and we keep coming upon it to where when it's a black quarterback, there's different ways, their narratives why they try to pull them down. You know what I'm saying? Because even you can look at when you said character flaws with Justin Fields. Listen, I didn't know until this past week that he had epilepsy. You know what I'm saying? For someone to be able to
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, he's epileptic. For someone to be able to, and they think he'll grow out of it like some of his other family members. But for someone like that to be able to play basically professional football and have epilepsy, it speaks to his character. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like it tells you because go ahead.
His biggest quality to me is perseverance.
Good point.
I go back to Jay. A lot of people give Jay a lot of shit, but that man was dealing with juvenile diabetes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do to wake up and have to take them shots 2-3 times a day, and still get up and play football while you're losing 15, 20 pounds a season and take all that beating. I got to tip my hat to that man. I have to. Same things with this narrative. Now, we know we live in a microwave society. Everybody wants
his footwork. Terrence, it was a footwork for me. The man doesn't want to get footwork. I'm just I'm not confused. I'm all back foot. I'm all back foot.
right.
Okay, but you're right.
You're still right though. What he went through.
Yeah.
And then to see like, you know, I don't know how much y'all watch BYU, but then to say Zach Wilson is Patrick Mahomes-esque, I'm like, have y'all watched Patrick Mahomes? Like, why does this narrative have to keep decreasing us and elevating others to really stuff they really can't live up to? I'm just gonna keep it real. America. And I'm not saying that I have a race relation problem or anything like that. That's not my case. I just want it fair across the board. Because it wasn't too long ago when people like this were considered to not be smart enough to play quarterback. Warren Moon, you know what I'm saying?
Had to go to the CFL for 6 years.
Right, you know. And for Bears brass, like I said before, if somebody available is the best available, we still at the end of the day want to win with the best players. But why not go ahead and right a wrong? Why not do that now? That's my biggest question with Pace and them. I don't understand.
I don't want them to right or wrong. I want them to get the best football player. I mean, because I'm with you as far as race played a part in Mr. Trubisky getting picked. Now,
absolutely.
But the thing is this, because again, we're not trying to be. I'm not trying to come on your show and start talking political or anything like that. I look at it as more of a bias. And one thing I always say is you got to be cognizant of your biases. Like, I'm biased about stuff, but I have to remind myself, like, hey, Ken, you have a bias. So take a step back and look at it. You have familiarity with people that look like you. You know what I'm saying? Like you do. Like if I'm in a room and I don't really care if I'm in a room full of white people right now. I'm a grown ass man. But of course, if I step in a room and it's some black people, we're gonna be head nodding. It's a different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it is. I'm familiar with that. I love me some black folks. That doesn't mean I don't love other people, but I love my people. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that a white person can love their people, but when you look at what Ryan Pace did, and I know he can't say it, Ryan Pace was looking, quote unquote, for the next Drew Brees, which you can't even really use that because their skill sets was different with the type of athlete.
Absolutely. Nowhere similar.
Nowhere similar. And I was a huge Drew Brees dude coming out of Purdue. You know what I'm saying? That's why part of the reason I like Kyle Orton, because of Drew Brees, right?
Came right after him, yeah.
Hosted him. Kyle Orton was a Heisman candidate, but got hurt his senior year.
Sure
with a bad hip, I believe.
Sure
but Christian, but
doesn't change a thing.
No.
Doesn't change a thing.
but still, right, the truth in the pudding is, and let's let you know how wrong and flawed I am. I was a Deshaun Kaiser guy, right? So that lets you know I was off like a motherfucker. All right, like you said to Cherish, you said Ken know something. No, I didn't. But when you sit there,
no, you didn't know that, dog.
No, I didn't. But we all knew Deshaun Watson was clearly the guy that you should take. It was no, dude. I'm an Alabama fan. My family's from Alabama. I'm a Roll Tide guy. Right now, I'm not from Alabama, but my family's from Alabama. I'm a Roll to watch him stare down Alabama defenders and get his ass kicked, but beat them. I mean, Alabama was coming for his neck. And his scrawny ass kept getting back up. I was like, oh, this is different, right? And if you're telling me that someone that gets paid to sit there and scout and evaluate talent didn't know the easiest option was clearly to go with the guy that had 3 years of starting over someone that couldn't beat out a guy that was in the XFL, that's a dereliction of duty on Ryan Pace. And I think it comes from familiarity. And not to say that there's still not a racist trait in it, but that's what, when we keep trying to tell people, like for instance in Hollywood and stuff like that, have diversity, because you never know what you may find out, because you don't have people that don't look like you in the same room to educate you on something that you may not be paying attention to.
There it is. That awareness piece. You feel I link Ryan Pace to this. You can be educated, but not be smart.
Totally.
This was not one of those moments where you needed to be the smartest man in the room. You just needed to give me the guy that beat the best team ever. Like, give me that guy.
Right. Well,
like it wasn't a hard pick.
He was the dumbest guy in the room.
but see, and this is why I say, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be Malcolm X tonight. Even when you switch to the last year, the following year, when Bill Polian was up and down ESPN saying Lamar Jackson needed to be a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And this man is like revered as the greatest GM/VP of operations ever. But you're telling me this dude who just won MVP in his second year should be a receiver? You telling me that Patrick Mahomes didn't show at Texas Tech that he could play quarterback? Are you serious? But little Zach Wilson at Brigham Young University is the next best thing since sliced bread. Hey, man, get the fuck out of here with that, man. Straight up. Like, straight up. And I'm not even saying he can't ball, but I'm just like, man, come on. Like, let's finally look at it what it is. And it's not a knock on Bears, because the Bears have had plenty of black quarterbacks. We really have.
When they on their way out.
But they've not been that black quarterback.
But okay, let me jump in on that one. Vince Evans to kind of say that he didn't, towards the end of his run here, he didn't get a fair chance. I remember my dad telling me about Vince Evans or whatever.
You was in high school. Stop playing. You was in high school.
I was. I look good as hell to be 60 years old.
Hey, but he was drafted by Chicago, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I'm still even saying that because even he said that if he kind of wished he had stayed here to see if he would have got another chance during the Super Bowl run. But he kind of felt like it was like the writing was on the wall. He wasn't gonna get another crack, and also it wasn't like he was killing it. Let me lead with that. Absolutely. But then you look at like Henry Burris, who's another CFL legend, but clearly he wasn't a professional here in the pros. Jason Campbell kind of doesn't count, and unfortunately, listen, I think Cordell Stewart is the name. He's the name that should not be mentioned because that when we thought Cordell was gonna come here and do a little something, that just turned out so terrible. I mean, they've never listen. I disagree.
You're missing two more, Ken. You're missing
two. Go ahead.
More.
Give me the other two real quick.
Jeff Blake didn't really play. He played like
but Jeff Blake. That would give this. If you gonna tell me Jeff Blake, give me Bengals Jeff Blake. You know Absolutely. What I'm saying? Like Jeff Blake when Jeff
Master
Blake
of
really
the deep ball. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying it comes off like they don't want black quarterback. They've had him, and then even though they drafted Chris Leak, he never played in the regular season.
And you didn't expect Chris Leak to be a star. This is my thing.
I wasn't expecting much from Chris Leak.
No, you wasn't. I said this on my show last night. The fact is this: the worst draft. We had a question. What's your worst Bears draft pick? Mine was Cade McNown.
Cade McNown, right? My man.
Mine was Cade McNown because that year.
Terrible.
That year,
Culpepper.
That's listen. What? Let me jump into that, JB. That year, you had a kid. I listen. I live on. I won't say where I live. I don't live too far from Constance. I just said where I live. I let you see. That's where you got me drinking a little bit. I slipped.
You're right? Over on that east side.
I'm on the east side, right? I'm on the east side.
Brother, I'm a block off the lake on the east side. So
all right, we got a link. We got a link. But the reason I'm saying this is this. I played against, I went to St. Francis de Sales High School. I played against Mark Carmel. I'm a Catholic League kid.
I went to Mount Carmel.
Oh, shit. But the thing is this, is Virginia, we know the Catholicism that the Bears family enjoys. It was no doubt that year you should have jumped up and taken Donovan McNabb. It was Absolutely. A hometown kid. He was a hometown kid from a Catholic school. He fit all the traits, but at that point, getting a black quarterback wasn't necessarily as sexy as it is right now. But then, this is the point I made on the show, JB, for you last night. Then it got even worse because the Bears traded down in that draft, right? And it was a kid at UCF, and we was like UCF, but it was like, man, I heard he may be good. And it was once they traded out of the Culpepper thing, I was done. Right, I was like, and then they drafted Cade McNown. I was so upset that draft that took place, and clearly, and think about how back then, because this is another thing too. When we were talking about Cedric Benson, and that draft that Cedric Benson came out, you had Ronnie Brown, you had Cadillac Williams. If you can think about how many back in the days, and this is only like 15, 20 years ago, people was drafting running backs in the top 5, which is crazy, right? But the reason I say that is think about how little you would have had to pay to move up for Donovan McNabb. Because thinking about it, that Donovan McNabb trade, is that the Ricky Williams New Orleans Saints year too? Is that the same year? Or is that a different year? I can't remember. I'm only asking. But the thing that I'm pointing out, it wouldn't have cost the Bears, because I think the Bears was like maybe number 8 or something. It wouldn't have cost them that much to move up 6 draft spots to get Donovan McNabb. It may have been a 2 back then, you know, especially going out for Jimmy Johnson's draft board that they used to use back in those days. You wouldn't have had to give up a 1 to move up to get McNabb that year. And that to me is one of those glaring things, because one, he's a hometown kid. And I'll say this, and just to point out racism, and I'll just be honest. If Donovan McNabb was a white quarterback from Mark Carmel that did what he did at Syracuse, it's no damn question they would have done what they had to do to jump up again.
They would have got him.
That's just the truth. And again, I'm not saying that Donovan McNabb is the world beater, but I'm just pointing that out, that's one of those times where the Bears not turning with what society is turning with, and it has been a hindrance for them in my eyes.
But see, I think a lot of that is linked to, like, let's take it a little deeper. A lot of that is linked towards, because they're a solely family-owned team, there's no corporate pressure.
Totally.
For them to pick a certain guy or to basically really, really win right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I link that to kind of like, what was that? Don't kill me. 2015, 2016, when the Cubs when the Cubs fans finally turned their back on the Cubs and was like, look, if you don't get us some people in here that's going to win, we're not coming to the games. We don't do that.
Oh, totally. That's the biggest problem with the Bears.
We look at the Beloved like no matter what they do, we just take it.
That's the biggest problem with the Bears. If they stop going out there spending that money on the parking concessions and those tickets, the Bears would get their act straight. They would sit there and hire a real president as far as
football guy.
Yeah, they would make sure their business. You know what you're just saying. They would make sure their business structure is in order.
We need to start a movement tonight. We should start a movement against the Bears brass. We're not gonna buy shit else. We're not gonna buy jerseys, Urlacher jerseys. We're not gonna buy any of the Bears jerseys. We're not gonna buy any Bears jerseys, and we're not gonna buy tickets when they open the stadiums back up. We're not gonna do any of that. And let's see what they do, because they're all about the bottom line. So they're gonna change some shit. But the question is, will we ever do anything? We ain't gonna do shit. We're not gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just us. I mean, unfortunately, when you look at, not to say I do see a lot of us going out there, but the problem is, even if fans gave up those season tickets, it's thirsty fans waiting to supplant them and take those season tickets. That's just how thirsty this fan base is. I mean, it's great, the business model. You know what I'm saying? You get the TV money. You already the stadium is sold out. The business model is sound. It just doesn't necessarily help us as fans to get the product on the field that we desire.
But see, now, here we go again. Your bottom line is not always friendly to your fan base.
They don't care.
Because you already got your money.
Still gonna make money.
They don't care.
They already got the money. So now
they don't care. They don't care. And as you said, they're a family entity. So it's even worse as far as who not to say, because the thing you hear about George McCaskey is he's closer to being a regular person than most NFL owners are. Like, even if you look at, and this is a question I had on it may have been under Center Park. I can't remember what I was doing. It may have been my show. But I was like, why the hell, when you look at Ryan Pace and Ted Phillips, their offices is just killing it compared to George McCaskey. And it was JJ Stankovich, the prior host of the Under Center podcast. I asked this to, he came on my show. And he was like, because George is a regular guy and he doesn't necessarily have to fall into all of those trappings. Like, I think, unfortunately, go with Mitch, I think George may drive a Camry, right? And I do. He does not have a Mercedes. I think that was the discussion we had. He doesn't really go into all those trappings. Or whatever, even though people with money know they ain't got to flaunt it. But still,
he got two cars. He got two cars.
Yeah. But the business model is set, and when you look at a family that you could say, like, we can all say they're not football people, and they'd be like, well, my great granddaddy was the founder of the NFL. Like, you know, like, you could get how your ego. I'm not saying that this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is what they're doing, but still, it's just a bad mix as far as us being here in Chicago. And you look the fact that I pointed out, like, teams like the Bengals have had a great quarterback in the last 35 years. And that's just the 35 years. None of us in our lifetime can sit there and say that any of these quarterbacks that the Bears have had have been great or even sniffing greatness, which is really ridiculous when you think about it. And it's not just one regime. It's the whole thing since Sid Luckman, which is really bananas when you think about it.
And that's why I said it's not about the personnel more so than it is the culture of ownership.
Yeah.
You can't tell me from Angelo to Phil Emery to pay, like, you can't tell me at some point one of these egghead geniuses couldn't get it right. And I refuse to believe that, because, like you just alluded to, we drafted Cade McNown. Why?
On that horrible note, I am going to bid farewell to all of you guys. Thank you for having me on, T-Nick.
I'm glad you came, Kristen.
Good to see you, Kristen.
Nice to meet you, Kristen.
Sorry, I have a headache that's making me have to go. But you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Right
See
now.
you later.
So, but that's the thing. And I'm going to be sitting in front of my TV tomorrow. I'm going to have my little notepad. And I'm going to do what I do every year, which is piss myself off. Because I'll have my like best available. and then they'll hit on like the third or fourth round. We'll find some gems.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, we hadn't had a second round pick, and I don't know how. I mean, like, are we looking at Anthony Miller type play? Like, what are we looking for in the second round?
Think about it. They did good in the second round last year.
That's what I'm saying. So with
Cole Kmet
going back.
No, remember there was 2 picks in the second round last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jalen Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cole Kmet was first, then they picked Jalen Johnson in the second round. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad at that, but it's like, so I'm not even going to front. Even though he got hurt, I wanted Grant Delpit last year, safety LSU, because I wanted to get Eddie some help. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a lot of capital to have a safety.
There you go.
It's a lot of, especially when the thing is, especially how much money Eddie Jackson gets paid, man.
Here we go again, though. The smartest people in the room are making these decisions, and now they handicap themselves.
Yeah, but they didn't know that he wasn't going to stay at that level. Even at Alabama, he wasn't necessarily a tackler; he was more of a ball hawk. So I mean, like, and also Vic isn't here anymore. We don't even know how Vic would have been implementing him in his system. But that's kind of on your defense outside of Robert Quinn, just didn't produce last year.
That was a horrible pick.
Yeah, that just the sign of him in general, especially when it's compounded by the fact that you did all that for Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd went somewhere else and got a $54 million.
Balled out.
Eddie Jackson. Listen, that's what makes the Kyle Fuller release worse. Because Eddie Jackson, in all fairness, was kind of supposed to, at one point, supplant him as your best DB, right? And Kyle was still balling out while Eddie Jackson, in some cases, has either regressed or not been used in a proper fashion. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say plateaued because he's not a strong safety. He needs to stay in that.
Oh, no, he's a free safety. He needs
to stay in that free role.
Yeah, but that's part of the thing when you had him and Clinton Dix, where you basically had a situation where I want to say they was using them like cover 2 guys where it necessarily wasn't a strong or a soft guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was, and that's, as you're saying, that's what makes with the things that they have now with Gibson even better, because he can be that guy that can come up there and you don't have to use Eddie like that. Like, I didn't think Gibson was going to be as good as he was last year. I'm happy that he did.
He was surprised. I liked he because remember the Texans gave up on him. I
thought they did.
Down there.
Yes, he played well for them last year.
Yeah,
all right? He played, but I'm
not mad at Tyson.
But if Eddie Jackson can't get back to that Eddie Jackson way, man, it's gonna be different. But I mean, the defense, in all fairness, and we see what Sean Desai does. The defense should be good, because the thing you got to remember is Eddie Goldman comes back.
Eddie Goldman is back. Yes.
All right. So the defense, your front 7 should be good, and you have some guys as far as the defensive backs that we got to find out. As we were saying with Tim Jennings, great interview, good booking, y'all, on having them on. We was talking to him with Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson is showing that he can be good. We don't know yet. He has to go, but he showed a lot of traits that are pleasant, to say the least.
I think 2 or 3 years, I think Jalen Johnson's going to be a household name.
Yeah, he showed some. As long as he can stay healthy. You know what I'm saying?
The shoulder with hitting this
that's
stuff.
The thing. Listen, that's one of those things. Just like with Anthony Miller, every time you see Anthony Miller go down, you're like, "Is it the shoulder?
Is it the shoulder?"
You know what I'm saying? You're like, "Is it the shoulder?
Yeah.
Is the shoulder? Is he holding his shoulder?" Like, that's. I hope it doesn't end up being a situation like that. You know what I'm saying, with Anthony Miller, even not with Eddie Johnson, with Jalen Johnson. With Jalen Johnson. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, me personally looking at this draft, make sure you check it. I guess I should plug some shit. I'm not really that dude, but yeah, make sure
you can call me, and we can, try to
anytime.
Because
go ahead.
If you don't make so it's the 11th hour. Call it what it is. If you're Pace and you already came out and had this little virtual party about Andy Dalton being QB1, I honestly don't think that the Bears are going to do anything drastic tomorrow. He's in a safe space. He's got to save his job.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? So at 20, as a fan picking the best available, you can't really be mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because in their eyes, they've addressed the need, maybe not the need that we wanted, but they've addressed the need as far as, hey, Mitch is gone, Foles is to the back, we giving you Dalton. But 2, 3, hell, maybe even round 4, because I know you find a Russell Wilson was found in a round 3. We all know that Dak was found in round 4. I like Kellen Mond. You brought him up earlier. I like Davis Mills. A lot of people didn't watch a lot of Pac-12 football. Davis Mills, he's shifty. He got some moves. But is that going to save his job?
No. But see, this is the thing too. Do we really know the how much of rope that they have? Because it really seems like the Andy Dalton move and whatever. And yeah, maybe they really went off of Russell Wilson, even though Pete Carroll came out today and said we wasn't trading jack shit. All right.
Most of us already do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's the thing when someone's trying to tell you, man, I'm really trying to do this. And you'd be like, that's like saying, for instance, like, man, I'm trying to go out with her. And it's like, she not going out with you. But man, I keep asking her though. And it's like, but yeah, but you're not gonna get her. So it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I guess.
Perfect.
But
that was the move for leverage. That was the move for leverage.
Yes.
But again, more PR BS.
But that's what they do though. That's what I mean. That's always what they do is try to win the press release. All right, to control the narrative. Listen. That's why they never tell us when the contracts have been extended. Right, like how many like that? Just think about how ridiculous. And that's not just the Bears. That's in a few Chicago clubs where this goes on, where they don't tell us that. But when you look at it, as you said, common sense would dictate stand pat. Or if you cannot really go back, but you can acquire either a second round pick and kind of fill out some depth, because again, we know this is the offensive lineman, a cornerback, and receiver draft, right? And also, as you just alluded to, there are some other quarterbacks that you can look at as perhaps being projects. So this is the draft. Perhaps you can do that. But see, the thing is this, that kind of also tells us how much of their jobs are really on the line to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I guess I've been a Trey Lance guy. I've been a Trey Lance guy for 2 years, even though he needs to sit down for a minute.
He does. He's like
he needs some marinade. He needs some marinade.
Yes, he does. You need to let that put the Ziploc bag on them, Terrence, and get all the air out there and let those juices really marinate and to get that meat tenderized.
Exactly. Yeah, he needs to simmer.
He needs to.
Now, let's speak hypothetically. If they were to acquire a 4th or 5th round pick, a 4th or 5th pick in the first round and got a Trey Lance. Now, the Andy Dalton pick, now that doesn't hurt as much.
No, it makes sound sense.
You still got to find a way to get rid of Nick Foles, though.
That's just some F shit.
Because, the Bears traditionally, they don't carry 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this too. It could be a chance where, and I don't think it's going to happen. This is just me being pie in the sky. Just the same thing we were talking about with Sam Bradford ending up with the Vikings. Could be a situation we don't know who's going to get hurt and may need a quarterback come preseason, right? So again, you may not get something that's really advantageous for you by sending him somewhere, but if you can get his money off the books,
that's more important because it's
you good. Yeah, you good to go. But listen, if you can move up, because really to me, I don't know. I'll be pleasantly happy to be wrong, and I'm not saying that Justin Fields won't be good. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't know off of the fact of who his comp is to where if I'm all in on a smaller Cam Newton, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know because the league isn't trending that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you look at someone like Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is going to have to win from the pocket. All right. Like, that's just the truth of the matter.
He can't run forever.
He can't run forever. Listen, unless he gets a title like in the next 2 years, then at least he'll have one, but he has to learn how to win from the pocket because they are going to crack him up. And even if you look at his speed this season wasn't off the charts like it was the season before. Now, I could say it may just look like that to me, and the league may have just caught up because they're more familiar with the type of athlete that
Didn't he have a hamstring? I think he had a hamstring.
I bet how much that boy get out. He had a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
but that's but for real. I mean, just say like you. How many quarterbacks put up the amount of energy that he does consistently throughout the season? But he's going to have to win from the pocket. The same thing with Cam, and you can see it with the Patriots now to the point where if Cam was better with pre-snaps evaluation, right, and could clearly see coverages better, that it and even though the offense around him, the skill players weren't that good last year with the Patriots, and he didn't have a preseason, but he's never been a guy that could sit there and be like, I'm about to outthink you. And
Cam has never been a quarterback that can pick you apart.
Yeah, and you have to kind of be that guy. I'll tell you one of the most before the whole dog fighting thing, and I hate to since we diving deep into black quarterbacks now. First, I love them. I'm team black quarterback, but I'm bashing them now. It's terrible about the business. But I'm gonna tell you when Mike Vick lost me. I remember Mike Vick sitting there at one point, and somebody was talking to him, and they asked him, like, "Man, Peyton Manning spends all this time in the film room studying, and breaking down tape and evaluating what's going to go on. You know what I'm saying? Do you think, saying that's what you need to do?" And he was like, "Man, I'll never spend that type of time in the film room." And at that point, I
remember that.
I was like, motherfucker. Like, how could you, with the type of talent you have, not think that if you apply what Peyton Manning was doing with your athleticism, how great your ass would be? And you don't even realize that. And when he said that, I was out. When he said that, I was like, I'm out, right? Because you're not going to be that. Now, unfortunately, when he got locked up and then he came out, he learned football. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came there, Andy Reid got him, and you can see the difference. He learned football when he was an Eagle. When he was with the Eagles or whatever.
You saw the difference in him.
You totally saw the difference. He knew the game. He knew the game. And so, again, I'm saying, like, that's what we're looking for. Because, again, like, I'll say this. If you're saying I'm going to get Justin Fields and he's going to be a factor on the offense, yeah, I'm in it. But as bad as it's been here, I want it all. I don't want just a factor. I want a guy that's going to be great at one point. Maybe I'm not going to get that. And the good guy can at least get us to a Super Bowl and win one. I'll take it, but we've been so starved for a quarterback. I want it all. So again, if it's going to take, for instance, and we hear about for Trey Lance and the type of offensive style and the pro style that they run, that it can extrapolate to the pros, but he still needs a minute. I'm with that because we can see down the road, we can get somebody that can be the best of both worlds, the guy that can physically do it if he has to take off, if he has to just throw off balance, but also can win necessarily from the pocket, because that's what you're going to have to do, especially in a situation here where we know that sometimes they're not going to put the best players around that person, or even if they try, they may select the wrong players.
Right. And two, like we've been through so many years prior, we have a good defense that is aging. We got to help them out, man. Yeah. We got too many three and outs. For whatever reason, I like David Montgomery. I actually did watch him a couple of games at Iowa State, Big 12. But, like, get a man the ball.
That was a big issue last year. And Phil was one of the first people I know that was big on David Montgomery.
So when you come this season, you get Tariq Cohen back, right? So your little gimmick, your little scat back stuff, Nagy can play around with that as an extension of the run game, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't, I can't ask Andy Dalton to sit up there with the line currently constructed, rookie or not, to throw the ball 40 times a game. Like, we don't have the red rifle, Andy Dalton. This is not who we got. We got little 6-shooter Andy Dalton. That's who we got right now. He looked that good. Hey, my brother Curtis Clay is the biggest Dallas Cowboys fan I've ever seen. And that man was like, get him out of here. Put Scaramucci or whatever dude's name was back in.
Yeah, Scaramucci balled that one game. And yeah, Bullets, I agree.
My man Bullets.
I'm pointing out that at that point, it wasn't clicking. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't. And unfortunately, that immaturity got his ass locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different subject for a whole different day. But yeah, what are you about to say, man?
I was just gonna speak on the Michael Vick thing. Was it really maturity, or was it that he just was tired of run nigga run? So he
you get in trouble for maturity because of the people that you the company that you keep. Thinking that
no, but his football game matured. We agreed on that, right?
Because
after he got locked up. Because you'll mature real quick when they sit your ass down for a minute, especially after you had
what I'm
was
saying,
180 mil up.
What I'm saying is, before he got locked
that Nike contract that he
before
lost,
he got locked up, he wasn't a pocket passer at all.
No, he wasn't.
So after he got locked up and he went to Philly, he was a pocket passer. You know, he was throwing that rock. He was not trying to run unless he absolutely had to.
He was still able to run.
But a lot of that, Terrence, you got to remember, when you sitting down and you don't have other distractions, might as well learn your craft.
Especially when you like, man, if I had another chance at it. Think about it. He was in that jail like, man, if I could another. And also know this, he knew the only way he was going to pay off his debtors. Let's not forget the debt my man's was in. He had to get back in the NFL and get a contract. That's the only way he was going to make that type of money. Because listen, if Michael Vick never was allowed to be in the NFL again, how much debt he would be in would go to his kids, right? And he was able to pay that debt off because he got NFL money. But how much debt that man owed at the time? Woo, Charlie. Listen, that was all right. That look, and again, I don't even want to make this all even about Mike Vick. I'm just saying that I'm team black quarterback, but even in that, I know I want the guy not just to be one or two dimensional. I want the guy to have the attributes that we necessarily associate with the black quarterback, but also have the Aaron Rodgers. Listen, no, I want a black Aaron Rodgers. Let me simplify to put it like that. That's what I want. All right. Give me Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's what I say. Give me Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. And again, I may not be able to get that, but those are some of the traits that I would like to see in a guy. But even if I say this, if you're going to give me Mac Jones and you have the offensive line and the coordinator that can necessarily make him flourish, I'm cool. I'm cool with that type of guy, but you got to have the right stuff around that type of guy.
I was going to say, you cannot give me Mac Jones as the Bears are presently.
No, not right now. It's not going to work.
It'll fail.
Well,
Bullet said, we don't have the – wait, what did Bullets just say? We don't have the red rifle. We got the rifle from Christmas Story.
Well, you know what? In the words of Lovie Smith,
you shoot your eye out.
Andy is our quarterback. So we have to deal with it. Because I will say this. I don't see them drafting a quarterback. I don't see them drafting a quarterback.
I think they're going to do it round two because here's the thing. Like Tim alluded to, do what you have to do to get up to that fourth spot. But look at what Atlanta. So let's say it's a first this year, a first next year, Khalil Mack or Akeem. Like, it's going to be something like super monumental that would have to take place. But you're cutting your nose off to spite your face at that point.
I don't know if they can with their cap situation right now. I don't know if they can move Khalil Mack. And I'm not against it. Let me leave with this. Let me get like this. I'm not against it. All right. I mean, I'm not against it.
Think of it. If you're Atlanta, it's
you want an edge rusher.
It's one of two.
But it'll be easier with Roquan because he's on his rookie deal.
He's on his rookie deal.
That dead money on that Khalil Mack deal. And also remember, they've pushed Khalil Mack's money back which means that dead cap hit.
He's inflated at the end of his contract.
Yeah, it would be prohibitive. I think it would be too prohibitive for them to trade him at this point right now. Maybe next year it may be easier, but I think it would be too prohibitive. I think what you're going to end up getting is they got to give up this pick and two more ones. But I'll say this, all right. There's a chance right now, all right, that one, it lets you know that we've been sold a bunch of wolf tickets. When you look at the fact that Carolina went out and got Sam Darnold, right? Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be the draft of all drafts for quarterbacks, right? They were sitting there at 8 and was like, dude, no. Let me get Sam Darnold. Now, maybe they'll draft a quarterback. Maybe they won't. Of course, they're still sending that flare up because they want to trade away and gain more assets.
Right.
Let people know there's still a threat that we may take somebody that you want. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at Denver. Denver was a team that I was most worried about if Justin Fields was out there stealing Justin Fields or Trey Lance from the Bears. That's still not to say that they won't do it, but when you look at the fact that they have Drew Lock and they bring in Teddy Bridgewater, and I don't think any of us think they're going to get rid of Drew Lock right now. That's still not to say it stops you from getting the quarterback, but you usually, if you're going to go out and draft a quarterback, unless they're about to toss Drew Lock to the wind, you usually don't go out and bring in Teddy Bridgewater right before you do it. But some people will say, well, look what the Bears necessarily did with Andy Dalton. So that could, playing devil's advocate, you could say that. But we also know that the Bears are basically looking at him to supplant Nick Foles because Nick Foles failed. And the fact that, yeah, Andy Dalton may start because of the rookie that we bring in may not be ready necessarily to go out there. So we still need a serviceable quarterback for this upcoming season. But me personally, I'm with you, JB. I think they are going to take a quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be in the first or second round. Probably right now, my preference would be if they go second round. And I'm not saying that, damn it.
Oh my God.
That's about to say that damn money will be crazy, dude. It's going to be more than what Carson Wentz, I think, has the record right now for what the Eagles had to pay to get him out of there. And I think it was like 34. But yeah, you can't trade Khalil Mack right now. You know what I'm saying? They only got $480,000.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you hamstring yourself basically out of contention for anything.
Yeah. But that goes to your point of they're probably going to try to do two things at once. They're going to try to win now, and they're going to try to tantalize us with, look at this thing that we got for the future that perhaps we got in the second round, or perhaps we moved up and got them in the first round. But my thing, I'll say this. If I was the Bears, don't be too active. Sit back, because most of these teams have already played their hand. What they expect is for you to be the Bears and Ryan Pace and to sit there and overpay for something because that's who you are. Yeah, that's who you are, and they know how desperate you are. So they're trying to set you up for you to do. But right now, the best time to make that move is during the draft because you don't have to pay that San Francisco type of payment to do it a month earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can sit there and you can make your move, but still, and this is the last part I have to say, listen, it sounds good. Draft is Christmas, right? Especially when you got a first round pick. We haven't had one in 2 years. It's always like Christmas because you feel like your fortunes may turn. But we still don't know, and there's never been an instance where a draft had 5 quarterbacks hit, or even to be like even 4. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds good, and we could say it. And on top of that, Matt Nagy is going to be the guy helping his quarterback out. How much?
Okay. So I got one thing I want to say to what you just said, Kenneth, before we do our shout outs. You said that the Bears have to win now. And I totally agree with that. Because Ryan Pace, I say his ass is on the fire. So we have to win right now. So he has to do what he has to do to try to win right now. So why would drafting a quarterback, why would that help us win right now? Because we don't have anybody on the line that protects them. So it doesn't matter if Jesus is back there. If we don't have nobody on the line, then shit, Jesus is going to get sacked every time.
You can't sack Jesus, and you know it. Jesus was just...
He will walk on top of people.
Exactly. It'll be like that old footage of Marcus Allen in the Super Bowl just running. He'd be like, is he gliding on motherfuckers? But look, that's a great point. And I'll tell you why. Because the narrative would be, one, Ryan Pace being the guy that was like, man, you should draft a quarterback every year. He would be living up to what he said he was going to do and placating the ownership, but also trying to save his ass at the same time. And that's what, and it wouldn't be risky either. It'd be like, man, look, I got this Davis Mills or Kellen Mond. Look how appealing they are. But also, I got this tackle. I got this receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do both with this one, especially to your point, Terrence. If you're not moving up, because that's when it's a problem as far as win now, to where it's gonna be like, well, whoa, because you can't solidify that line. look, if you move up, you may have to give up that second, depending on what you have to do. Because if you have to give up that second, then you really aren't going to be able to help that offense like you expect you can help that offense, either with a skill player or an offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying?
And that's it. Because when you move up too, Kenneth,
Bullis is
Justin
wild.
Fields is not going to win this. Damn, Bullis is.
Bullis funny as hell.
Even if you get to draft a Trey Lance or a Justin Fields, that doesn't make you win now.
I got one for you though, and this is one thing I brought up on That Davis Show. Let me do this. That Davis Show to Flip, and of course the Under Center podcast for NBC Sports Chicago. But see the narrative though, because this is how another way. Because one, we really don't know if this year is their last year. But what they could do is this: they have a kind of decent year. Maybe Andy Dalton gets hurt. Rookie comes in, right? Say the rookie goes 500 or a game under 500, but we have some games where he's showing out. Then they're gonna hit you with, do you want to put him in another offense? He's so young. You don't want to sit here and have him jumping from offense to offense. So you probably need to give Matt Nagy another chance around this. Like there's more ways to skin this cat, you know what I'm saying? Especially with an ownership that really doesn't want to get rid of you.
And ownership that does not like to get rid of people while they're under contract to pay another person to come in.
Right.
They're playing the long game.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to play the long game.
Yes. So that and again, this is my opinion. Definitely I could be wrong, but we know the Bears. The only time they wilded out was because Trestman Emery was really messing up. I know we got to get out of here, man. His cup is empty. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Terrence and JB, man. I look forward to chopping up with you guys down the line.
I'll shoot you a message, Kenneth, and get your information so we can correspond outside.
Anytime. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Definitely.
Man,
but I definitely look forward to hollering at y'all, man.
This was like one of the best pods, man. And to have you on,
it was great.
To have you on,
I had a lot of fun, Terrence.
Oh, yeah,
man.
A lot of fun today.
Your questions and your insights, bar none. So, I mean, thank you, man. And we got to have you back. We got to have you back. Probably like right after the draft. Soon after the draft, we gonna have you back, man.
Yeah,
but
I'll come on. Just hit me up, bro.
So the same question that I asked him, I'm gonna ask you, and you've been here. Harold's or Uncle Remus?
I'm from the South Side, bro.
Okay. Right
Uncle
there.
Remus once, and that's the Uncle Remus that's on the South Side, and it wasn't bad. Let me say this: Uncle Remus,
47th Uncle Remus.
Yeah. I may have had that one. Now the old lady got it. I didn't get it. All right, appreciate it, Bullis. The old lady got it. I didn't get it. But I mean, also let's say this when we giving out heralds, it depends on the heralds too.
Yeah, you're
all right.
So
let me say my location. That's what. So one before the rent got too high, I'm an 87 guy from back in the days when I was in high school and you had to go in there and be ready in case anything popped off. You know, now when you're an adult, it's like, oh, it's nothing. But when you're in high school, you never know which way it could go. But I'm an 87th guy. That was my heroes. Then the heroes right there that was off of 10 Tray on State, not the one on Halsted, the one on State. It was a hole in the wall. It was a hole in the wall.
Serious hole in the wall. Right across from the South Loop Club. Yep.
Yeah, right. The one I'm talking about is like down the street, was like 3 shops down from Hilltop Liquor Store by that White Castle's on
Wabash
Street. Right, okay. Whatever. Which one? No, that one is actually I'm wrong. That's Michigan.
That's Michigan.
Michigan. That's Michigan, right? It used to be a Heroes right there.
Hilltop Liquors in the hundreds.
Yeah, right there. I used to go get my heroes in high school from them because my buddy he lived right on 10 Tray or whatever. But yeah, my go-to heroes right there was on 87th in the damn round. That was my hero.
Hey, did you know they put a food truck in that parking lot when
as he should.
When that rent got too high, he was like, "Shit, this money too good."
Right, dude. And I mean that one right there is it's a historical one. So yeah, that was my go-to heroes. But yeah, man, it's not even a question. But I'll tell you this too. Aging out, sometimes, man, I don't even like sauce on my wings like that, though. I know, right?
All right, yeah, you got to go, man.
Sometimes because that reheat factor, you know what I'm saying? But like
okay.
Sometimes I want to taste that chicken too. See, sometimes that sauce can hide some things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta know if you can fry. But yeah, I'm not like the older I get, I don't need the slather all the time as much. You know what I'm saying?
I love it on my bread, man. I love to salt my bread in the sauce. Oh my God. That is like the best thing ever.
You hungry now, T?
I am. I'm making myself hungry and thirsty. My cup is empty. So can we give shout outs real quick? Kenneth, I mean, you can give some shout outs and plug your
please
your podcast.
I'll definitely make sure you check out That Davis Show. Follow me, as you can see right here, at That's Davis. Make sure you check out Flipping Friends. This week, under Center Wise, as soon as the Bears pick, we're gonna come on for at least 10 minutes and give you our reaction. And then at nighttime, we're gonna recap it. So from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're giving you content as far as our thoughts, and that'll be partially me, Tony Gill, Eric Strobel, Alex Shapiro, and Adam Hogue. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got that slather. See, you don't go bullets, you know, no slang.
Bullets is our man.
Right. But yeah, so you know, if you enjoy a little draft talk, also if you enjoy a little humor, hopefully you kind of got the humor that we try to give off, me and my guys. Also a little bit of the consciousness too. You can be conscious and funny at the same time. This is just some of the flavor that you can get over here, and hopefully, you know, say you'll enjoy it and you'll continue to rock with your boy.
Hey, real quick, on the Under Center podcast, NBC Sports, can you really say whatever the fuck you want to say, or do you have stipulations? Well, you can't say this.
I haven't found out yet.
Oh, okay.
Like I haven't pushed, but I don't think it'll be a problem for me saying it. Like, no, I think I could basically say everything that I said over here, and if I curse, they would probably bleep it out. Depending.
Yeah, you can't say fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm trying to keep getting there. So at this point, it'd be like it's a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I would still curse, but I know like there's some curse words that are too extra. You know what I'm saying? Back at you, bullets. Yeah. So no, I can keep it the way that I want to keep it, but also it depends on like just me. Like sometimes, you know what? A mentor of mine's, Lawrence Holmes, once said, "You don't always have to pull out the big stick all the time." You know what I'm saying? That's because if you know, like we all know, like we from the streets of Chicago, the blowhard dude that's always the blowhard. That's the most suspect person in general. If you always on 10, it's like, okay, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly. That's really that's the bully that when you really step up to him, he never really wants that action anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just not used to someone confronting him on that bullshit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing where, and I mean, like I'm grown and old now, so I ain't out here trying to necessarily always trying to just be like, man, I'm wilding. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm washed. I'm at washed phases now or whatever, and happily, because growing up in the city of Chicago, we lucky that we made it to this point. So definitely. You know, I'm saying it as a privilege, not as as something that's negative, right. Basically. Almost, but you know, that's this point. But still to your point, Terrence. Yes, I can say what I want on there, basically. But again, like sometimes sometimes, man, I don't feel like being just irate, because this is the thing too. You got to realize this is like, how far am I going to let them upset me, and I still got to go on and live and do what the hell I need to do, right? Like that's like I'm the Bears. I'm so, and it's like they don't give a damn what I feel, right? And I'm sitting here pissed off, and so it's also that's part of. I factor that into it also.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm definitely gonna tune in. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Appreciate it, man. I'll continue to check y'all out, man.
Unless the Bears piss me off.
Hey, but then we could chop. Look, there will be. Know this. Let me say this. I will flame them. But it gets to the point of, if I'm flaming them all the time, then what do I have left? I will flame the fuck out of them. All right. Like, it's not a question, you know, but also I want it to be based in reality. and not just based off of me doing it just for doing its sake. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted also to know the things that I don't know. You know, I'm learning more. I'm engaging with people. There's something I'm not some football savant. I don't know as much as Matt Nagy knows. Even regardless if Matt Nagy seems like he doesn't know what he's doing, he still knows way more football than I know.
Doubt it. Doubt it. He might not know. He might not know more than all three of us. No. But yeah, hey JB, you got shout outs?
I do. First off, Kenneth, shout out to you, man. We appreciate it. Much love. Can't wait to link with you, speak with you. Shout out to my man Bullets, always representing. Shout out to Tim Jennings, man, for coming on and giving us a great interview. Great interview. Shout out to the super producer, always, for helping making this happen. A couple other shout outs. Shout out to my cuz who was chimed in, who was watching. Shout out to SB. She always supports. Shout out to Miss Sandra, who still always texts me. That Miss Sandra's my mom.
Miss Sandra. Miss Sandra.
Shout out to Miss Sandra.
She always watching and letting us know what's going on and stuff. And she's got some great questions. That's the woman who taught me sports.
Damn, that's dope.
And shout out to our viewers. Just keep support. We appreciate it. We love, as you see, we're not trying to be like our counterparts. We're trying to be something different, and we're trying to bring a different type of insight. So thank you all, and continue. You know, we appreciate the support, and please continue. We're gonna keep giving you that information, the insight that other networks and other podcasts don't give you. We call it cookie cutter. I don't want to be cookie cutter. Thank you, Bullets. Got to give Mom some love. I appreciate you. We got to get. I keep saying this. We got to get Bullets on the show, man.
I got his info. He gave me his info after you said that, so I'm definitely going to link with him and get him on the show. Hey, absolutely. But let me give my little shout outs real quick. You know, I found out last night that my pops on the low watches the podcast.
See,
dope.
On the low, he don't really. I mean, he watched the recordings. Let me say, but now that he's retired or semi-retired, he watches the live podcast. I did not know that. So shout out to you, Pops. They're in Mexico right now. They're not dealing with this crazy ass weather in Chicago. But I definitely want to shout out Miss Sandra, JB's moms. Appreciate you, Miss Sandra. She's a faithful.
Never miss the show.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Keeping it 100. Feeling ashamed. Appreciate y'all, man. They do a lot of sharing, and you know they kind of pump us up. And yeah, there's some good dudes, man. Good dudes. Definitely got to shout you out, Kenneth. That's Davis. Make sure you all follow him. Check that out. You know, this dude, he has insights and opinions, and he's great. Kenneth, man, you were great.
Appreciate it, bro.
I want to shout out all the viewers, Bullets. And last but not least, I gotta shout out Tanya, the super producer. Definitely. Tanya, shout out to you. Oh, I cannot forget the baseball show on
Plunked
on Chicago Clubhouse. Plunked, yes. One city, two teams. Kristen and Emilio. It's a great show. It's funny. This weekend they're actually going to review the Yerminator. That burger after Mercedes. They're gonna review that. And also Kristen is going to review Denzel Valentine's album that he released on Valentine's Day. How corny is that shit?
We ain't even got enough time to talk about it. That's how
especially after that shot the other day.
What? Oh my!
What?
Ooh.
We can't do it. I got to go to the pit, y'all. I can't even do it.
Oh my God, man! What the hell was he thinking with that shit? Man, Woo, shout out Denzel Valentine.
No.
Get your ass out.
He was, hey, we always say Ryan Pace is aggressively inept. That's what Denzel Valentine's shot was.
Facts.
Oh my God, man, that was terrible. But hey, also last shout out to I forgot what her name was, but she won that Dennis McKinnon book that you were gonna pick up for me, JB. You never picked it up.
That too, yes.
But shout out to her because I think she's a faithful and she watches too. Let me pull out the book so everybody can see it. It's right here. Silky D Bears All. So make sure you check this book out. It's a good read. It's not that long. But shout out Silky D too. But yeah, man. So my cup is empty. I'm getting hungry, like you said earlier. So I guess it's time to say goodnight. For my man Kenneth Davis and my man JB that knows every stat from every team since the 90s.
Facts.
And I am the QB point guard. We out.
Peace.